This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Val Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
Welcome to a sunny and 75-degree day from Minot. It's a 27-1 Souris Valley Sabre Dogs, who's on a 23-game win streak up against the Red River Pilots, the only team to beat this Sabre Dogs team. Welcome to the broadcast here on Beck Sports. Mitch Kieran, Mick Tidger with the rest of our Beck Sports Network crew. Mitch, it's been an unprecedented 23 straight wins for the Sabre Dogs. Why are they on this crazy streak?
Well, I think this is just a testament once again to the talent, but also the level of grit. Now, Coach Kieran, as you can see up and down the roster, he really recruits the same type of players. They all come from winning programs, so they all know how to win a lot of different styles of ball games. But a lot of these guys have bigger aspirations. They either want to stick it out and win this Expedition League Championship in back-to-back seasons, or they want to extend their playing careers beyond their already finished collegiate levels. So whether or not they want to win the title or play professionally, they got to learn how to win in many different ways.
And the Pilots are the only team to beat this Sabre Dogs team. How did they pick up that second win against them today?
Well, a lot of that came with that starting pitcher that night, Nate Scotts, but again, he was a guy that just went right after the Sabre Dog hitters. And now he also had great defense behind him, and the Pilots were able to get off to a great start offensively, putting up a crooked number early. If they're able to get off to a good start and get a little bit of confidence at the plate early, then that's definitely going to spell better opportunities and put themselves in a better position to once again defeat the Sabre Dogs, even though that was the 5th game of the year. We've already about 4 weeks in, and the Sabre Dogs have only picked up steam since then. It's been pretty unbelievable so far. 23
straight wins for the Sabre Dogs. Last team to beat them, standing in the batter's box now, Red River, and off we go from Minot, starting things off today with the Pilots is Alex Miller. Center field today, had the night off yesterday, going up against Ethan Swanson, the right-handed starter for the Sabre Dogs. Swanson's first start, 11 innings out of the bullpen so far this season, 0.81 earned run average. So to say the least, Mitch, he has been effective out of the pen. Let him get a start today.
Absolutely. Now this might be kind of a similar situation that we've seen with Brett Laura, who has been so dominant out of the bullpen that he's kind of wanting to test this stamina as he finally gets in the strike zone there, gets Miller to foul one off. But now, just like Laura, he's been dominant. A strikeout pitcher, again with those 11 innings, 20 strikeouts, 2 walks. Why not let him start this one off? We got Olega and hopefully Marco Zuna as well in the bullpen. So we're going to see some guys that know how to throw it hard and well. But already Swanson's going to have to battle back here, giving Miller a hitter's count 3-1.
Alex Miller, .333 hitter as the leadoff man for the Pilots. Best average on the team this season. Pushes the count, full 3-2, staying patient against Swanson. Out of Miller's 14 hits this year, 13 are singles, so tons of consistency for Alex Miller this year. There's the payoff pitch all the way back, and Swanson strikes out the first man of the night.
Now it got a little spectacle there with a 3-1 counts, but again, these Pilot hitters, they're just going to have to be ready to hit tonight. Those 20 strikeouts to 2 walks, that's a common stat that we're seeing from these Sabre Dog pitchers. Now they just go out there, they just challenge every hitter. They're going to throw it around the zone, but they're going to challenge them to swing it. We got a good defense behind them, but so far it's been most of our pitchers. Swanson, another one of them that's just shined this summer.
First pitch swinging from Jack Walton, the redshirt freshman.
Now Walton's coming off a pretty good night. They're hoping for another good night from him. Built his average back up to 295 after a multi-hit game back in the 2 spot.
It's an even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Freshman season just completed at the Colorado School of Mines. Only had 3 hits and 10 at-bats, but a pure hitting shortstop. And it's a 1-2 count against Swanson.
And again, he may be young, but he plays the game well. I'd like to say he's the Pilots' pretty much everyday shortstop. He plays pretty solid defense, and he's really starting to get settled in at the plate with a near 300 average.
And Coach Olam said he's a huge-time player. He may not have had the numbers as a freshman in college, but he's going to break out. And so far, especially the last couple of weeks, he's been able to do that. There's the 2-2, and Swanson punches out back-to-back batters to get us underway.
So this is just what we're liking from Ethan Swanson. Once he gets settled in, he is a dangerous pitcher now. I've been telling you before the game, Mick, that mid-90s is something that we can expect on that fastball. Something that I believe was a 2-seamer this entire time. He says, hey, Mitch, fun fact, I only throw 4-seamers. And I'm like, well, then how do you expect all the run? So, again, those pitches out there, they're going to move. So these Pilot hitters, they can't give up on any pitches. They got to just stay in there, see it all the way in, try to read the spin, and just try to find a barrel.
No barrel here from Micah Barkenhagen, the freshman out of Castle Rock, Colorado. 256 swinger, 4 homers, most on the squad, 12 runs batted in. Somebody just trying to create some contact against Swanson, and this one's not getting that done either.
Now again, Swanson was a big strikeout pitcher for Northwestern Oklahoma State. And he has translated just so beautifully here this summer, finding success at college, but as well as a Sabre Dog.
0-2, swing and miss, and Swanson in his first start of the season. A perfect 1-2-3 frame on 14 pitches after the first half inning.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Val Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
Half inning gone by, and it was a 1-2-3, 3-strikeout first inning for Ethan Swanson. Let's go ahead and take a look around the region, presented by West Dakota Chevy Dealers, and see what the Sabre Dogs schedule looks like coming up the next 4 games. A lot of this Red River Pilots team, the only team to beat the Sabre Dogs up to this point in the season, and then that 4th game during this stretch against North Iowa. The Sabre Dogs have a pretty pivotal stretch in the middle of a 10-game swing. This is game 8. They're 7-0 so far during that stretch, and those 4 games coming up will finish up that stretch. Thursday on Beck, Legion Baseball, Mandan takes on Williston. That is Thursday here on Beck Sports. A look around the region brought to you in part by West Dakota Chevy Dealers. Starting pitcher for the Red River Pilots today, Josh Simon, sophomore out of Santa Cruz, Aruba. Just finished up his sophomore season at Missouri Valley College, and he's tossed 15 1/3 innings so far this year, 2-0 record with a 1.17 ERA, and goes up against a potent lineup. Starting off with Luis Pelayo, Hunter Delanoy, and Seth Delgado, the first 3 in the Sabre Dogs lineup. There's Simon, a whiff on the swing from Pelayo, who has been just an absolute mainstay at the top of the order, 429 hitter. 2 homers, 33 runs batted in. Mitch, out of the top of the order, that is a mark that teams love to see, 33 runs batted in.
Well, Simon is going right after Pelayo, but he has just been such a treat to have here as the leadoff hitter in almost every game that he's played. Not hard to see why he's been a 3-time NAIA All-American at USAO, but Simon gets him to swing and miss at 3 consecutive pitches. So again, Simon, he has been getting more success on the mound as of late, buying himself his 3rd start. And again, he is a hard-nosed player. He's built very well, a big, strong hitter, but also he's got a strong fastball that's just sat down our leadoff man.
4 batters have come to the plate in this game. All 4 of them struck out. We'll see if Hunter Delanoy can change that. Senior outfielder, a team best 471 average. All he did yesterday was hit 4 for 4. A couple of singles and a double. Been a hitting machine. He takes a strike here, evens the count at 1-1 with 1 down.
Well, Delanoy, he has just been consistency personified. That was talking with him last week on the middle of that big hitting streak that unfortunately has come to an end. He just focuses on consistency. He's a very level-headed hitter, gives Coach Kelly at Wayne State in Detroit a lot of credit for his approach, just trusting the system, and he's got a great approach. Anything that's middle in, as he tries to hit one the other way, just has, just a simple approach, just hit the ball where it's pitched.
Somebody told us that Delanoy was upset at you for bringing up a hitting streak.
Yeah, he went to Coach K, said, I think your brother's trying to jinx me. He only stretched the hitting streak for 3 more games after that.
Yeah, that's it, just a 20-game piece. He pops the 1-2 pitch up to right field, and we've seen 5 up and 5 down in order. These pitchers have been on it to start off the first inning.
Absolutely, and for Josh Simon, again, he's usually finding himself in the middle of the order, a bit of a DH type of player, but again, some strong pitching that earned him a 2-1 record on the mound of Missouri Valley College. That was kind of overshadowed by that .450 batting average that earned him first-team all-conference honors. Yeah. But this is only the 2nd time we're seeing him on the bump, so this is a pretty solid approach from Coach Hollum, as Simon has had more success as the season's carried on pitching. Why not throw him against the Sabre Dogs, see what can happen.
Power on power, Seth Delgado. 4 homers, 24 runs driven in this year. There's been a ton of swing and misses in this first inning. Good stuff from both pitchers, Swanson and Simon.
Yeah, again, Simon pretty similar. He's going out there living off of his fastball and slider, trying to get the Sabre Dogs just to catch up to it. You can tell he's putting a lot of effort in those pitches. You hear the oomph from up here. But Delgado lets that one go upstairs. Easy ball 1, but he's still battling back with 2 strikes.
And a punch out for the 2nd time this inning. 6 batters through the game, 5 strikeouts. Swanson struck out the side. Now Simon puts down 2 in the home half of the first. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Eventide Senior Living Community keys to the game. And it's a perfect start for the Pilots. Keep it low scoring. First inning down. Good formula so far.
Yeah, we have not really seen a start like that for the Sabre Dogs. Now early, that we've seen in the past them go 1-2-3, but not quite like that. Not only strike out Pelayo, but also Delgado, 2 hitters well above the 400 margin. You get Delanoy to pop out to deep right. Didn't have the best contact, so that's a big statement made. Sabre Dogs, now they still got a good part of their order coming up, but eventually they can take a little off with Simon's speed. Just find a barrel, let his velo do the work.
And then settling in on the mound for the Sabre Dogs. So far, Swanson's done that at 3 strikeouts in the first inning. That's our Eventide Senior Living Community keys to the game. And check out eventide.org for more information. Let's take a look at our Proceed player matchup need seed. Go ahead and think Proceed. Jalen Lee, who's going to lead things off in the top of the 2nd for Red River. One of the best hitters on the team, one of the best in the league, .316 average, 18 runs driven in. And then we talked about Delanoy a little bit with that .471 average leading the team and 21 runs batted in. So 2 ultra productive players for their respective teams. Our Proceed player matchup.
Absolutely, as the cleanup batter, Jalen Lee's going to lead things off here. A .316 average, but not too long ago, that was above 400. And it's safe to say this has been one of the biggest headaches for Coach Kieran so far this season, as dating back to the first 2-game series at Kraft Fields, was Lee right here that drove in just an impressive amount of runs through 2 games. Helped the Pilots to a win, but also to put pressure on them in back-to-back games. The second would have started the win streak, but it was a close one that the Sabre Dogs had to fight hard to earn.
Let's see if he can be the first one to put something in play in fair territory against Swanson after those 3 first-inning strikeouts. Just counted that up. That was a 7-minute first inning.
Wow.
5 strikeouts, 6 batters.
We've seen some quick games. We're moving right along.
There's the first one put in play. And an easy one for Monroe to put Lee down to start the inning. It's a good first out for Swanson, and it brings up Isaac Becker, the designated hitter. Freshman from Iowa Central Community College. Only played in 4 games in the collegiate season, but has been a pretty big piece for the Red River Pilots this year. .224 average. 7 runs batted in. Good approach to the plate, too, with 10 walks.
Coach Holmes kind of relied on him in the middle of the order, usually finding himself batting cleanup or tonight 5th, somewhere around this area of the order. So for a lot of them, they are seeing some pretty challenging pitchers so far this summer. And this ultimately kind of fits their goal with going back into the fall ball with would still be a lot of their guys underclassmen years, but this kind of exposure could definitely propel them forward against whatever level of pitching they're seeing.
Becker lifts the 0-2, foul territory, and a long run for Delanoy, and it's off his glove. It's a good point you bring up. So many freshman, sophomore players for the Pilots compared to the Sabre Dogs. A lot of junior, senior type of talent level. And in talking to the Red River coaching staff, they were very, very adamant about, hey, our players are playing against some of the best in the league very consistently, and the Sabre Dogs, I see a lot of really good pitchers.
Absolutely. As that one misses upstairs, it's really just the Sabre Dogs, as I can say, it's just about any one of their matchups. It's veteran experience versus youth. Now, again, we've already talked about their aspirations, either championship or pro ball.
There's the 1-2, wave and a miss. 4th strikeout for Swanson in 5 batters.
Well, with Simon challenging our batters, luckily Swanson is back in his zone where his pitches are just working. That time, 2 strikes. You see Wilmus sitting up on the lower outside. That slider just fits in the breadbasket perfectly. Can't quite grab it, but an excellent executed pitch that actually tires the beer batter. So fans can really get behind that one.
That's a big one. It's the only strikeout people care about. Here's Jason Willers, takes a first pitch strike. And more impressively for Swanson so far, 3 of the 4 strikeouts have been swing and misses. That just tells you how good his stuff is early on.
Absolutely. He's trying to challenge these Pilot hitters, trying to get them to swing at anything close. He's doing just that. So far going right after them. He's trying to paint the corner against Willers. Only 1 year down in his college career at Morningside. Already quite the resume for him. He was, I believe, perhaps the top hitter for the Mustangs in a first-team all-conference in the GPAC.
Summers hitting .250 with 3 runs driven in. Didn't play yesterday. Slapped one, right field line. Delanoy back toward the warning track, plays the sun, and it is off the fence. Into second with a 2-out double is Willers. First hit of the ball game for either team.
And now he might have got the end of the bat on that one, but he still got just enough to send it all the way to the fence for Delanoy. This is the 2nd time this inning he's tried to find the ball before he's found the fence. So that time maybe got a little bit of indecisiveness creeping in. Crashed backwards into the fence, maybe arm first. So he's fine, but again, could have been a great catch, but it's still a great, well-batted ball for our first hit of the game.
So now Tyler Wiltshire, pretty accustomed to playing in this ballpark, a Minot State product. Off Wilmus' glove and trotting over to third easily with no throw is Willers, so a man 90 feet away for the Red River Pilots.
That's a tough one right there, a pass ball that Wilmus in his first game as a Sabre Dog just kind of right over towards it, and Willers, a good dirt ball read, challenged it and got an uncontested stolen base out of it.
Overpowering stuff from Swanson against Wiltshire on that pitch. 194 hitter, 2 runs driven in, 0 for 2 yesterday. Only had 23 at-bats in the spring season with Minot State. That was a chance to do some damage with a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
So far again with all of these swings and misses or foul tips from the Pilots, they're going up there just trying to be ready to hit. They're just trying to time up Swanson so far. Willers was able to do that on an outside pitch, hit it perfectly to the wall in right. Now it's up to Wiltshire to do a job.
Not a bad spot to miss on a 1-2. Draws it even.
And rides the chalk just off the plate. Wiltshire stays disciplined. Now might argue execution on the outside corner, but that one might have had a few more inches outside. So as Wiltshire fouls that one away, it's another guy that's been pretty well rounded for the Pilots. It's been a terrific fielder for third base, as you're going to see potentially tonight. The Pilots have had outstanding defense plenty of times, and time again they have taken away plenty of hits from the Sabre Dogs. So it's frustrating, but you got to have some respect for it.
Here's the 2-2, right at the letters, ring him up, and Swanson's feeling it. 5 strikeouts through 2 innings of baseball. Strands a man at third. See if the Sabre Dogs can crack the scoreboard in the home half of the second.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
Guys, from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Val Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
Inning and a half through. Ethan Swanson feeling good on the hill for the Sabre Dogs. 5 strikeouts through 2 innings of work. Left the man at third base in the top of the second after a 2-out double from Jason Willers. Now Josh Simon goes back to work at a productive first inning as well with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, now we were talking a little bit before the game again, Mick. Now you're a big fan of the pitcher's duels. Now this was perhaps one of the more interesting pitching matchups that we've seen so far this year. Now we are yet to see Simon in the start. He was a relief pitcher back all the way in the first series to start off this season, so we didn't quite get the best look at him. We weren't too familiar with Red River just yet, despite the amount of times we played him. But he has been, that was quite the first inning for him. We haven't quite seen a game start off with the Sabre Dogs on their heels at the plate. Now, we still have hitters 4 through 9 coming up for the first time, and we got one of our most dangerous guys leading things off in the second.
Yeah, it's 4, 5, and 6. Chris Monroe, Jake Barlow, and Ben Newbert. Don't want to give this guy anything to hit. Diesel Chris Monroe, .416 hitter with 14 dingers and 50 runs driven in. Give him a pitch to hit, he's going to run into it. Even count, 1-1 against Simon.
So he's homered in half the games, and he's homered 6 times in the past 7 days. Now, he was actually on a 16-game hitting streak looking back now. That came to an end yesterday, so you know he's trying to make an impact out there from the get-go, but hasn't quite seen a pitch he's liked. He got started off with a slider. You don't really want to swing at that with no strikes. That time, fastball in the corner, and he's down now 1-2.
Different look from Simon on that pitch, and it's 2-2.
One of the biggest advantages a pitcher can get is to keep your hitter off balance. Now that time, sort of Johnny Cueto queuing him up, but you know, just kind of stalled there with the kick.
Nestor Cortez for the Yankees, giving people different looks. Monroe all the way back to 3-2 after falling behind 1-2.
Now Monroe's at his best when he's able to just keep those hands back, keep his weight back. You get anything middle in, that's a mistake thrown to Monroe, but there are times he might catch himself just lunging out just a little bit in front, might go chasing on an outside pitch. Gonna want to stay anything close here.
There's the payoff. Roll to third, Wiltshire the throw, well, the no throw, and Monroe's on.
Another big thing about Monroe's overlooked is his hustle. Now you got a ball that skipped high to Wiltshire, and it looks like he couldn't quite, yeah, he might have just fumbled it right there on the transfer from glove to hand, but that's why you leg out every 90. Monroe shows it again, another great example for all the kids in attendance. So it's going to be an air E5, but Monroe gets a job done, at least getting on base for the first time for Souris Valley.
And leadoff man is on to Jake Barlow now. Barlow's been dangerous this year too. 6 homers, 18 runs driven in. Near 300 average, which you could say about every single one of these Sabre dogs, either above or near 400. Hacks and misses, and it's a 1-1 count against Simon.
Now Barlow is just an all-around stud when it comes to playing baseball. Only 5'8". He's a perfect second baseman. He's made great play after great play at second, finds himself there again tonight, but also he has quite a lot of pop. 6 home runs, and he put that on full display in the first home run derby of the season on Saturday.
Very compact swing from Barlow. Pops the 1-1. Long run for Willers, and he's unable to get to it.
Now that was just a tough look there for Willers, as you can see here at Corbett Field, kind of an open and exposed dugout, maybe for a little interaction, but that time might have just overcompensated, found the fence, but then the ball ends up behind him. So as a former outfielder, I am still adamant that pop flies are much harder than fly balls to field, just because never really know if you're quite under it. That time just missed it.
Completely agree with that notion. Here's the 1-2 to Barlow. Gets out of the way, 2-2.
So what happened on Saturday, Sabre Dogs closest to their second defeat. I could say the first in 23 games, but 6-7. Barlow ties it up bottom of the 8th with a solo home run, then hits 2 home runs in 5 swings in the extra innings alternative, a home run derby. So we finally got to see that. We were kind of hoping for, me and Chris last time, but you know, never say never. We still got a couple more broadcasts here with you guys.
That's
so
true. That's true.
I wouldn't mind going back to it. They look pretty fun, especially getting to call one.
Oh yeah, there's still a lot of game left, but 0-0 so far. Barlow staying alive to get to a 2-2, rolls one to shortstop. Walton for 1, to first for 2.
Another tough break, got caught out in front, just kind of flicks this one past Simon, just tries to swing the glove around, but Walton keeps it in stride. The ball leads him perfectly to second, gives himself plenty of time to deliver a strike to Lee at first, and that's exactly what he does there. Another beautifully executed play by the Red River defense.
You mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, Mitch. This Red River defense is stout from every position on the field. So now Ben Newbert, 430 average at the plate.
Yeah, but that's exactly what we saw there. Again, Walton, just a young guy, maybe 19, 20 years old, 1 year of college ball under his belts, and he's making plays like that. He just knows where to go with it. And as you could say the same with a lot of these Pilot defenders.
Yeah, the 2-0 runs at 3-0.
So you got to think maybe Newbert, unless he sees a perfect pitch, might be laying off. But I've said in the past, don't want to offer this guy much of a mistake either. Now he is another guy that's a prime example. You rarely catch him lunging out in front. He keeps his weight back, has a good load. He fires everything but the hands, as you just saw. I thought that one was outside, but strike 1. So it might be a better position for him here with 3 balls, 1 strike. Now he could have the green light.
He does. Chops one towards second, and Kirkman off the hop. And a double play and a ground out in the second. It's been a pretty clean game so far. Through 2, we're scoreless at Corbett Field.
Beautiful beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
Ethan Swanson's been dynamic today on the mound. 5 strikeouts through 2 innings, 1 hit given up. It was a double. Outside of that, though, Mitch, he has been fantastic.
Absolutely. So the challenge for the Pilots, now that they have 8-9 top of the order due up, they're going to be coming through the order for the first time tonight. It's all about timing with him and just trying to read where that spin's going, but it's a lot easier said than done when you're looking at 90+ out there, and a slider that just runs away from you, a fastball that bites well inside on you if you're a right-handed hitter. So Swanson, he is a lethal pitcher, so the challenge for him tonight is going to be how long can he go. It's his first start of the summer, predominantly a reliever, but we're hoping that he's able to sustain this level of pitching after 2 under his belt.
He struck out the side in the first inning, gave up that double with 2 outs in the second, and came back after that double and struck out Wiltshire in the second. So it's 8-9-1. Payne, Kirkman, and Miller do up against Swanson. Payne this year, 206 hitter. Yesterday, one of his better games, 2 for 4 with a couple of runs batted in.
Absolutely did a good job finding gaps out there. If the Pilots can just think gap to gap, try to drive that ball up the middle. If you're early, you'll pull it. If you're late, you're oppo. Just try to limit the room for error as this first pitch goes off the poles here at Corbett Field. So a quick comebacker.
Loud first strike.
But again, Payne, another guy that's pretty accustomed to this field. Pretty interesting for a lot of these guys to stay in state. We have a couple Minot State Beavers for Red River, plus a reliever yesterday, Kobe Fredlin, one of the better arms for Williston State in the Mondack.
Pop up center field, long run made by Pelayo, always trusty out in center field.
That one looked a little too close for comfort, as you have both Martinez and Barlow just racing back with Pelayo coming in. That's his ball to catch, so luckily he calls him off. Runs all the way up and past the Minot Corbett Field logo out there in center field. So yeah, that could have been a tough single to give up on the first batter.
There's Kirkman, bouncer toward Crouch. Easy play for him at third.
Now, last time you guys got to see what Crouch was capable of at the plate, he has been a phenomenal hot corner for the Sabre Dogs at third base. Rarely lets many balls get past him. This time, comes right in, fields it perfectly on the charge. And nearly every time, reliable, accurate arm across the diamond.
Alex Miller to the plate, 0 for 1 with the strikeout back in the first. Swanson delivers the first pitch strike, and it's not easy to field those off the turf coming in that fast. Everybody thinks it's easy, but it's not.
Absolutely. So you look at a grass field, the tough thing there is divots, and that looks tough. Miller wears one, and you can
talk
tell.
About tough.
Yeah, you can. That's a tough player, as he's going to be marching his way to first base. He gets a free 90. That's the first one issued by Swanson. This one on a hit by pitch. Oh, yeah, ouch. But again, now with the all-turf field, it won't lie to you. It's going to be coming in sharp.
Yes.
But again, not going to lie to you on the bounces. You know they're going to be crisp, but Crouch is taken to that very nicely, as well as pretty much the rest of the Sabre Dogs defense.
It's now Jack Walton struck out looking in the first. Pretty common theme so far for Red River in this game. Gets contact and a foul ball. Carlton, Texas product, graduated from Prestonwood Christian Academy High School.
He had a good high school career down in Texas, so trying to show what he's got, and so far I'm pretty impressed with what he's shown for Red River.
Off to the races goes Miller. Throw doesn't get there in time. And Miller's been a stolen base specimen, 12 of 13 this year for the leadoff man.
So he's doing his job with 2 down, still filling his leadoff duties right here. Gets a good jump, tests the arm. The first time we're seeing a catcher, Ben Wilmus, out of the University of Iowa. So that's a D1 arm he just stole off of. That's got to be a big
That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's got to be a big testament to his speed and base running ability out there.
Wave and a miss from Walton.
He stays within himself a good swing, just a little bit behind that time. And again, there's that fastball that's running away from Walton. Might have just gotten out of reach that time. It's tough when you're seeing speed, but it's that much tougher when it's coming in that fast and it's moving that much.
Two-seamer, right?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
I believe you after watching Swanson throw. It does look like a two-seam. So maybe he doesn't know his own pitches.
Yeah. He's trying to throw four-seamers.
Absolutely. Piece from Walton. No, I trust Swanson when he says a four-seam, but it's a darn good four-seam.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to change a thing out there when it's getting him this successful.
No.
So again, last time we had Marco Ozuna on standby, and there's a good chance he could be on the bump in the latter half of the innings tonight. That's another guy who's just a flamethrower from the right-handed side. So just be on the lookout if we see him head to the bullpen tonight.
Another 1-2. Walton lunges and misses. Swanson 6 punch-outs through 3. Can the Sabre Dogs bats wake up? We'll find out.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
7, 8, and 9 due up. The Sabre Dogs order no hits through the first 2 innings against Josh Simon. A stellar start for the righty. Nothing doing for the Sabre Dogs offense. So, Mitch, what do they need to do to try and break something open against Simon here in third?
Well, just like what the Pilots trying to do with Swanson, you got to find a way to time him up. Now, Simon, he's starting to get a little bit of confidence out there. He's got a very crisp fastball. Would not be surprised if that's in the lower 90s as it's coming in hot, but also got a hard slider with that as well. But would not count out these Sabre Dog hitters. They've been challenged before. They've been held scoreless for most of games before on this big winning streak, but sooner than later, just got to find a way, and it's just a matter of who's going to get it started. All it takes is one, and once one guy gets going, we usually see some good at-bats stack after that.
And will it be Ben Wilmus to get that started? First at-bat as a Sabre Dog out of the University of Iowa, Division I product. Started 21 games for the Hawkeyes, 234 hitter, 15 runs batted in, so another good piece for the Sabre Dogs lineup. Can say that about everybody they've brought in this year, but Wilmus no exception at the catcher position, and it's a 2-0 count.
He's staying patient so far, not going to be fooled by anything well out of the zone. I'm very excited to see Wilmus play. I think Coach Heller got a great one, a 3-time All-State player out of Johnston, and that is a perennial powerhouse at the 4A level in Iowa.
Yeah, no kidding. He's a top 500 player nationally by perfect game, so you can just look at the talent that oozes from Wilmus. Count leveled at 2-2, but nobody is getting by Simon. Doesn't matter who's stepping to the plate right now.
Yeah, that one just runs away from Wilmus, offers a good swing, comes up empty-handed. Now he's going to be tested here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, trying to get the job done. Bottom of the 3rd.
And he can't. Simon with another punch out, his 3rd. Brings up Alex Crouch. 215 average, 2 homers, 17 runs driven in. Get another look at the Simon punch out. Keeping Wilmus off balance.
And coming into this one, I knew Simon, he had velo to his credit, and he's definitely had success as the season's carried on, but this is going to be very interesting moving forward for the Pilots sitting in 2nd place. Now they're probably looking at another starter in the staff, as he is looking very impressive so far in the early goings. Not a good position to be in for Alex Crouch right now, 0-2. Likes to see a pitch early in the count trying to turn on it, but couldn't get it that time. He's going to have to battle up here, try to get the bat on anything close.
There's the 0-2. Didn't think that ball was going to land.
I thought that one was going up over the backstop. That just says a lot about how fast that thing's coming in. The amount of speed on that slider in the dirt, and Willers kicks it up almost up and over Corbett Field, the backstop in the grandstands.
And that combined with the turf, that thing's going to jump. This one stays in the turf. 2-2.
So Crouch expanding the zone. He's able to lay off 2 pitches well low. Still trying to battle up here. Got Martinez on deck, top of the order in the hole. So hopefully sooner than later, we're able to relay something.
Crouch smacks one toward left. Barkenhagen tripped for a moment, but he's back under it to make the 2nd out.
And Micah Barkenhagen, he's been phenomenal in the outfield, usually out of center, but you got Miller with the wheels out there, so plenty of range out there tonight. Carter Payne and right. Barkenhagen, that one looked like trouble that time as cleats almost gave out from underneath him, but still within himself, able to track down that ball. Says a lot about a fielder able to stay with a play and just recover no matter what's Andy's dealt.
Brings up Eric Martinez, 0 for 3 yesterday in his Sabre Dogs debut. Bats 9th, plays shortstop today.
And he had an impressive game at shortstop. Played hard on many plays, made a lot of flashy plays as well. So we like to see that out of a D1 talent out of the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. And he's committed that for the upcoming season. Before that, a Red Raider at Texas Tech.
So you're talking about bringing in players from committed to Texas Tech, from the University of Iowa. The Sabre Dogs, the rich get richer in the last couple of days with these new talented folks coming in. And it's a 2-1 count to Martinez.
Well, a lot can just be said about that. You know, we had Cameron Willman, a shortstop, signing with the Missoula Paddleheads, the reigning Pioneer League champions in the MLB affiliate league, but just trying to reload. We get Martinez as another shortstop. Plenty of guys can play the middle infield for Souris Valley, but it's nice to see guys that we know coming here with some weeks under our belts, just knowing that to get the better half of the season, you know, it's nice that they're coming in now. By the time championship season's rolling around, that they'll be here and they'll be starting to get a feel for how the league's playing.
And get guys to settle in a little bit. Here's the 3-1 to Martinez, and that is the first walk issued by Simon. That at-bat looked uncomfortable from the beginning for the first time for Simon.
Yeah, it was just kind of all around the zone. Didn't miss by a whole lot, but again, the caliber of offense. Now, they've seen some top caliber pitching. For Martinez, he knew the zone very well, stayed disciplined. That last pitch might have gone either way. I could see it. It was definitely a ball, but he had no doubt about it. As soon as he hears the pop, just flicks the bat to the side and then trots the first.
Back to the top of the order, it's Pelayo, struck out in the first against Simon. Oklahoma Science and Arts University product, NAIA power of 10 homers this past season. Almost hit 400 as well. He's brought that exact play to Souris Valley. Off to the races goes Martinez. He's into scoring position for a moment, and that quickly ends because his foot came off the bag. A dart of a throw to get him. And a great recovery by Walton to stay with the play, too.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12 foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Val Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
Making sure everybody's eating good tonight. Good night to do it. Sunny and 75 here in Minot. Pretty important day. Vision Zero night as well. Cook up the hot dogs. Let people see the fun.
Absolutely, as this is a pretty interesting night we got here. Definitely love to see the local community on hand as we got the local law enforcement hosting Vision Zero nights. On display out in front, we have the Ward County Sheriff Department's Drunk Buster pedal carts. We got the race car out there, which gives race fans the opportunity to wear fatal vision goggles with varying blood alcohol content level and steer through an obstacle course. So we got a little bit of a mini cart out there as well. Now, wearing those goggles, we've kind of implemented that with some in-between the games promotions, but still a pretty important message at the gates tonight.
You tried to call a game with the goggles?
That wouldn't go very well.
Ethan Swanson back on the mound. 3 strong innings so far. 6 punch outs, and he faces 3, 4, and 5. Barkenhagen, Lee, and Becker. And he's only thrown 42 pitches, giving up just the 1 base knock. It sounded like it might have been a broken bat foul ball from Barkenhagen, but he's gonna need some new lumber.
That's right. So Swanson, he's been efficient and he has been dominant so far. Only giving up that 1 double. He left a runner stranded in scoring position earlier. But this is just the start we've come to need from him tonight, as Josh Simon, he has been outstanding as the opposing starting pitcher for Red River. He's been holding the Sabre Dogs at bay. Yet to give up a base hit. Only giving up just a couple of base runners. 1 on an E5, the other walking Martinez. And looking back at that replay, that was tough on the stolen base. They didn't really argue it too much, didn't really look for an appeal for Coach Kieran or either Norton or Witzke, but I don't know. They're saying with the amount of movements, he definitely overcompensated. Might have kept the cleats on, but they're saying he didn't, and it was a caught stealing. So tough break there for the Sabre Dogs to end the 3rd.
There's the 1-2, and Ethan Swanson is delivering a gem so far. 3 1/3, 7 strikeouts.
He averaged 2 strikeouts, about an inning coming in, 20 through 11. So darn near it, 7. That's his 7th to start off the 4th. That was the 3-hitter in the order for Red River. So he's no matter what situation he's got, he's going to go out there and he's going to pitch his game.
First pitch off speed to Lee's a strike. Lee just finished up his sophomore season at Mid-Atlantic Christian. He's from Smithfield, North Carolina. Hard grounder, 0-1, and it spurts through the hole. Second base knock for the Pilots today, and it's a one-out base runner.
I think Coach Hallam has gotten plenty of success with the Mid-Atlantic Christian guys so far this summer. Notably, Caleb Whitley was a first-team All-Conference. Lee was one of their top hitters at an average around 330 this spring. And you can tell he just kind of tries to focus on hitting the ball hard, whether it's in the air, on a line, or that time on the ground, and still splits the 3-4 hole, and that's the second hit for Red River.
Brings up Isaac Becker, struck out in the second. Surprise, surprise. Swanson strikes somebody out. And he's ahead 0-1 here. What do you expect the pitch count to be for Swanson today in his first start?
Well, we're usually seeing pitchers go anywhere between 80 to just right around the 100 pitch limit. Now, Coach Kieran, he respects the depth. He makes sure he wants to try to get to the bullpen every time he can, unless the game ends early. So if Swanson keeps going at this rate, we can be easily looking at 3 more innings for him. And hopefully by that time, either a save opportunity for either Olega or Ozuna.
There's the 0-2 just out of the zone. Good waste pitch.
Plenty of respect for both of those players. Jorge Olega, he had NAIA eligibility left after his time with the Sioux City Explorers in the American Association. And Ozuna, a Southeastern commit, but he was a first-team JUCO All-American out of Cochise. 15 saves, one of the best closers in the nation at the JUCO level.
And put up some pretty gaudy numbers.
Indeed. Cochise, a very well-respected program. Coach Kieran got to play them this past spring down in Tucson for Bismarck State College. Was able to get a glimpse of him, as well as Eddie Martinez, not in the lineup tonight, but another young player that plays with a veteran style of approach.
2-2 just off the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Becker's worked it back to a full count. Top 4, no score. 3-2 count with 1 on and 1 out. Sabre Dogs without a hit so far. 2 base knocks for Red River. Here's the payoff. Lee stays at first. Spray towards center. Pelayo racing back, making a jumping catch. And there's out number 2.
Now that was an amazing play by Pelayo. You see it's 316 to the poles, but it is an alley to straightaway center, 410. Now Pelayo has to leap over the grab reach for that one. That saved a run, maybe 2. Because again, Pelayo knows that very well. He hit a line drive earlier this year. A center fielder for the Pure Trappers dove and missed it. By the time they got to the ball, Pelayo was halfway between third and home plate. So again, gap to gap, that creates a lot of opportunities for an extra base or 2.
Willers back at the plate, had the double in the second, and it's 0-1. And it really is a deep part of the field because most players aren't going to play that 410 as a deep play in center field. You got to play normal depth, right? So if that ball's hit over you, or if you dive and try to make a play, it's a triple or an inside the park.
That's where instinct just becomes crucial. Do you go for it, or you just try to play it safe? Now, many of the other teams have kind of credited this as more of a hitter's park, again, with how in those foul poles are, and usually the wind blowing out towards the outfield, which definitely creates a lot of excitement for some home runs. We got to see 2 last time. Y'all were here against Pierre, but you could definitely see the outfield starts to curve a little back, then just meets over 400 feet. So anything over that, that's a shot. I think we only saw 1 home run clear center field, and it was Ben Newbert on the 3rd pitch of the summer. So that was quite a way to start off what's been a special summer for Souris Valley. The first 3 runs came on 3 pitches.
That's pretty telling. That's just foreshadowing for how good the season's going to be. And then also if you could hit it that far to center field. It's not easy to hit a ball.
Yes.
Center field 410 feet. It's Aaron Judge territory.
Absolutely. Really kind of set the tone, like you said.
0-2, and Willers fights for another pitch.
Now, Willers, you can tell he's kind of a tough hitter. You know, he went up there, he saw Swanson's fastball in the outer half, unfazed. He had a perfect approach for it. He launched it all the way to the fence in right field that time. Now, he's currently locked in a pretty deep at-bat here with Swanson. He keeps fouling off, wasting pitches with 2 strikes. He's staying alive.
Monroe gives chase. He has room, and there's out number 3. So leaves 1 out, single spoiled again. Swanson doesn't strike anybody out after the first batter of the frame, but he does his job once again. Bottom 4 we go.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12 foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
A good nugget from our statistician and graphics operator, Noah Reed. Today is Minot's 135th birthday, so the fans out enjoying some Souris Valley Red River Pilot baseball game and taking in a big celebration for the city of Minot. Big 135.
All right.
Not just Vision Zero night either. It's a big night all the way around for Minot.
Absolutely. How about that? As plenty of Sabre Dog faithful once again on hand for a Tuesday night game. No better way to spend a beautiful summer night, like you said, sunny 75, than right here watching a 27-1 baseball team trying to keep an astonishing 23-game winning streak alive. So while Simon's still out there warming up, Sabre Dog still trying to get rolling offensively, still looking for their first knock here, leading off with Pelayo. Here's something I kind of learned, that Swanson makes himself just a little more interesting. Coach Norton says a couple of weeks ago, why is Swanson jogging off the mound after every frame? Now, I started to notice something. Every pitcher walks to and from the mound after every inning. Not Swanson. He keeps his head down, jogs back to the dugout. Guy just works hard. I can respect that. I like that.
I can too. And Simon's taking the other approach. He's strutting his shoulders, walking to the dugout saying, hey, I've got the best of you guys so far. As Pelayo's digging in with a 1-1 count. He's 0 for 1 with a punch out in the first.
Well, so far he's earned the right to be a little confident.
I completely agree.
He's kept the Sabre Dogs on their heels in the batter's box so far.
This isn't just the best offense in the league in the Expedition League. This is one of the most efficient offenses in any college summer league in the country in Souris Valley. Absolutely. And Simon shut him down.
Now, once again, it's probably known that next summer Minot will have a team in the Northwood that you can only imagine with this level of competition, just how they would fare against some other summer teams in other leagues, perhaps. Just the amount of talent plus the amount of success that they've had. It's just impressive.
That'd be good for the league too. Another Bismarck team or another North Dakota team with the Larks. Payoff pitch misses just off the corner, and Pelayo is a leadoff runner for the Sabre Dogs. Still without a hit, but a couple of walks, and a man reached on an error. It's now Hunter Delanoy, best average on the team.
Now, you know, not every game, Meg, has ended 7 innings or double digits or even touchdown numbers for that matter, but there are times the Sabre Dogs, they got to scrap for everything they can get. And right now, Simon's making them earn it. Hasn't even yielded a hit, but Pelayo, he stays patient. A pitch that really could have gone either way on that last one, but just off the plate, Pelayo made the right call to keep the bat on the shoulder. So he's on first, gets his job done, leading off in the order and in the fourth. So hopefully Delanoy does what he does best and follows up.
On base and contact machine for Illinois. 565 on base. 20 walks as well compared to 8 strikeouts. So pretty patient at the dish. High average, high on base, low strikeout rate. Pelayo drawing some attention, gets the throw to go by Lee, and he's taking a hard turn around second. He's 90 feet away from the first run of the night. Heads up base running from Pelayo.
Now that's incredible right there for Pelayo, not only to, you see here, he doesn't slide back, but he just rather walks back, but he's still hot on his toes. That throw goes wild from Lee. He offers up a great throw across the diamond and beyond. He's throwing that one from the fence, still able to hit Wiltshire at third, and Pelayo. That's a big play right there on a missed opportunity on a pickoff. So
this could be where Souris Valley does some damage with Illinois at the dish. Wave and a miss. 0-2 from Simon. Now this isn't really a particular situation where you can play with a bunch of pitches in the dirt because of how deep this backstop is. Pelayo's scoring.
We've already seen that a couple times. Simon getting hitters trying at least with 0-2 to chase. Hasn't done that much yet. He has been able to get them to take swings. A little bit defensive, a little bit indecisive, but you know, that's a very good point you bring up.
There's the 0-2. It's elevated and no contact from Illinois. Down on strikes. Punch out number 4.
Now that's actually a great pitch to throw with 2 strikes, because 0-2 count. Simon doesn't throw it at the ankles, but instead throws one in the attic.
I'm a big fan of the 0-2 above the letters. Make somebody go chase.
Absolutely. When you're able to establish that, that's, in a way, that's execution, and it worked perfectly that time. 3 pitches in, Illinois is gone.
It's now Seth Delgado struck out in the first. Sabre Dogs just need some contact to the outfield because they're playing at medium to deep depth. So a ball out there is scoring Pelayo with no issue.
Absolutely right here. You got the infield on their toes. They're going to be shading towards this infield green here. They're going to be thinking on their bellies, keep anything in the infield, try to keep Pelayo away from scoring.
And they're not going to keep him away. Pass ball scores the first run of the night for the Sabre Dogs. No hits, but a run on the board.
So this time it was base running that paid off, plus a couple of mental errors that time. Simon with the pick to first not only bought Pelayo a free 90, but 2 free bases. And that time he gets another free 90 as that ball skips in the dirt away from Willers on a ball to Delgado. And it goes in the dugout so he can just jog home.
And Delgado shoots one towards second. Kirkman delivers the second out. Well, they say get on base any way you can and score any way you can. And the Sabre Dogs proving that that is once again a way to win a baseball game, or at least go ahead.
Yeah, we've seen them win just about every game possible here. They've thrown up ridiculous run totals, outscoring their opponents on an average of 10 to almost 2 runs a game. But tonight, they get their first run before they get their first hit. That's saying something for how well Josh Simon's pitching.
Yes. And it was his own error throwing to first that was the biggest mistake of the game. So now Chris Monroe, 0 for 1, reached on an error in the second. 1-0 pitch, and still no hits for the Sabre Dogs, but they scratch across a run in the home half of the 4th.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
Guys, from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way.
During this 23-game win streak for the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs, which is just untouchable, in 11 of those games, they've allowed 0 or 1 run. So far on track to do that again. Ethan Swanson's given up just 2 hits, and he has 7 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. It's a clinic.
It's really phenomenal what Ethan Swanson's doing right now. The offense is being challenged quite like no game that we've seen in a very long time. Now, Red River, so far that they've been able to have 2 pitchers hold Sabre Dogs numbers in a handful of games. Josh Simon doing it in this one, and again, Nate Scott, who I'm sure they're going to be seeing on the road in the next couple of days. But this is just the type of game that we've needed from Swanson so far. You know, 6, maybe even this is actually, they're going to be playing games in 10 straight days.
Yeah.
So now you're down to finally, the players are tired, they're fatigued, and you're just trying to go day by day with who you got on the mound. So we're back to the reliever, but Swanson, he's unfazed by having to go in the start. He's got quite a mental approach to this game so far, and he's letting his talents just follow that.
Number 7 man in the order, Wiltshire, grounder toward first. Monroe throws it back to Swanson, and just in time for out number 1 to the number 7 batter.
Another chop ground ball in Monroe that leads him away from the bag. Pretty deep in that 4-3 hole. Swanson sees it, has to do a quick 180, head to the bag. And again, that's just a bang-bang play. Great hustle by both Wiltshire and Swanson. Luckily, no collision on that one, but also luckily for Swanson, 1 pitch out. So he's got plenty left in the tank, just throwing 58 so far.
It's a good number to be 4 1/3 through. It's now Carter Payne. 0 for 1 with a pop out in the 3rd inning. From Maricopa, Arizona, finished up his senior season at Minot State this year. Only had 8 at-bats. But he did start his career at Phoenix College, a big productive bat there. .331 lifetime hitter at Phoenix College. Close pitch there from Swanson, but called ball 1.
It's got to feel pretty good returning to Corbett Field. This has just been a beautiful field, sustained all the way since 1938. If we're opening up the history book,
we
again.
should. We absolutely should.
Now, again, it was a few years ago. I think this field experienced quite a flood. It might have been up to the fences, I heard, but then big answer to that, the beautiful turf we're seeing. So we got the grandstands, a bit of the flash of the old school as you can see it behind the field, but on the fields, I love it. It's a perfect blend of new and old school.
It's got to be some of that old concrete too, right? You could see how the old concrete looks. 1938, you think they had turf?
I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not. They've turned this into one of the best venues in the whole state. There's ball 4.
Yeah, scoreboard a little behind that one. With a 3-1 counts. That one missing from Swanson. So Payne, their multi-hit game, gets on base for the first time tonight. We talk things over with his catcher Wilmus, an Iowa Hawkeye. You know, I'm an Iowa boy myself, so I'm pretty excited to see a Hawkeye in the lineup, but also Wilmus. We'll see him play a plethora of positions as well. Listed as a shortstop for the Hawkeyes, but they might see some games as well, 2nd, maybe 3rd. So guy that can provide a facet of talent out there in the field, so that's going to be necessary, especially now that this grind of a season carries on. Many of these guys, you know, a day off would definitely do them some justice, just trying to rest.
Payne takes off for 2nd, and Wilmus has a chance to throw and show off that gun. He shakes his head. He said, nope, you're not running on me today.
Well, how do you like that? Welcome to the Magic City, Ben. We're happy to have you. Now it was a close throw. The last time a runner went on him, but that time he beats Payne by a matter of a couple of steps.
There was no question.
Yeah, that was quite a throw.
Kirkman the pop-up, long run, and it's off the glove of Delanoy. This is fair. And off to the races toward 3rd for Kirkman. And a sliding stop by Crouch to keep him at third. But what a turn of events. That ball just spits off of the glove and rolls toward the dirt.
Yeah, we're going to have to look this one back. I'm hoping we're getting a good look at it. Now they're thinking it was foul. Delanoy almost makes a spectacular grab. Ooh, that one definitely touched it.
His body was in fair territory though, right?
Yeah.
So,
I don't
touches
know.
the glove. That's what they're calling it, touching the glove. Body's in fair territory.
And we saw Coach Kieran go out there for a quick appeal. I have to check the ruling again, but even if he didn't touch it, his body's moving towards foul. Not sure whether that's, I don't know. That's a very close call, but it's a triple. And that's another one where we see what would have been just 90 feet, kind of similar to Pelayo. Just a matter of circumstance. The rest of the SaberDog defense not really backing that one up. So the ball kind of just lingers in foul territory for enough time for Kirkman to stretch that one out into a triple.
It's a pinch hitter, Joe Hayden, batting for Alex Miller. Miller was hit by a pitch in the third. Got him pretty good. Hasn't played since after he ran the bases in that at-bat. So it's now Joe Hayden, the sophomore from William Jessup. Hit 270 there this year. From Elk Grove, California. Wave and a miss, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kirkman holds at third. That's the big thing in this position now with 2 down. It's not the worst thing in the world that there's a player at third base, but it still gives the Pilots a chance to flirt with a run.
Absolutely. Joey Hayden, you know, he's another guy that finds himself near the middle of the order, anywhere between 4 and 6 on any given day. He was the 5-hitter yesterday. Similar situation for Wilshire. A player might have gotten banged up a little bit. Now he's coming in with a big job too here with 2 down.
Pops one foul. And look out
heads
over there in
up.
the playpen.
Well, someone's getting a lucky ball to go home with at least. And no one got hurt.
Nobody got hurt. Last week, that was the dancing section.
Yeah.
For the kids.
That was the place to be.
There was. To see if we see any more dance moves out there.
See if anyone's tuning in, we might see a lot more moves come out now.
There's the 1-2 hard grounder, second base. And Barlow puts away Hayden, so man stranded at third. Swanson stays clean through 5.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
Take a deep breath, everybody. Almost 5 innings through, and we've seen a total of 3 hits, all of them for Red River. And Josh Simon has not given up a base hit in this game to the SaberDogs through 4 innings. A run did score last inning because of a walk and a couple of wild pitches there.
Now you take that away, and Simon has been almost perfect in this game. That's almost what you got to be when you're playing Souris Valley this summer. You got to be perfect in whatever your job is out there. For Simon, he's unfazed by the numbers. He's blocked those out. Doesn't care how many home runs they've had, what their team average is, despite how impressive it is. He's staying within himself. He knows he's got speed on his pitches, and he's just letting that do the work tonight, at least up to this point.
Goes up against a dangerous part of the order. 5, 6, and 7. Jake Barlow, Ben Newbert, and Ben Wilmus to start things against Simon here in the home half of the 5th.
And if he can stay this efficient, then this might be trouble for Souris Valley for the rest of the game. He's only had 61 pitches. This is his 62nd thrown.
And Barlow cracks one left field, and it's off the fence. Barlow takes a turn, and it's a leadoff double. The first hit for the Sabre Dogs tonight comes with a loud punch from Barlow.
And again, when Jake Barlow calculates a pitch like that, you see him, he's sat on it all day, then just whips the bat around, cranks it all the way to the fence. I thought that one might have had a chance. I think Barlow might have too, jogging around first, but then he gets on his wheels, legs out a double. That thing kept carrying. We got a slight wind blowing out towards right field, so didn't really help it much, but again, just a hair, not much more underneath that one, and that one could have been gone.
Talk about gone. There is no doubt about what Ben Newbert just did to that baseball. No hit through 4 innings. There's allowed back-to-back hits. And just like that, this game's opened up.
The 4th home run of the summer for Ben Newbert, and that was another one to admire. That's a perfect Ben Newbert swing if we've seen one this summer. Watches it up into the trees. Now he hit 22 just like that at Bloomsburg in the spring, and he has been so fun to watch when he's on at the plate. Just a matter of pitches, 3-0.
It took the Sabre Dogs until this inning to finally crack what Josh Simon was dishing up. And boy, they've made it loud here in the 5th. Wilmus flares one right behind second base. Hit him hard, hit him soft. They're all falling right now.
Well, they're finally coming around. This is the 2nd time through the order. That was the 5, 6, 7 hitters perfectly leading things off for Souris Valley. 3 consecutive hits after we kept mentioning, how are these guys held hitless? Only a matter of time. You just can't count out the Sabre Dogs. We've seen time and time again they've had to climb back in games. It was a defensive 1-0 lead, if anything, but now it's a new ball game.
It's now Alex Crouch. He cracks one. Payne able to make the play right in front of the warning track, but the crowd gasping on another swing from a Sabre Dog batter this inning.
Yeah, Alex Crouch is able to turn on that one. That was a loud crack in the bat indeed. Can't be too upset with that one. He's got a grin on his face. He did his job, hit it on the nose. But again, Red River, a very impressive defense behind them, especially in the outfields. And here's a pass ball.
Martinez had to get out of the way.
And again, he just takes a stutter step back. Willers kind of on a similar pitch that cost the first run of the game with Palaio. Goes all the way to the backstop. Not as much damage, but still one that puts another runner in scoring position. And with one down, we might be looking at a different score by the end of this one if the Sabre Dogs keep this approach up.
There's a 2-0 to Martinez. Martinez walked and was caught stealing in the 3rd. So Wilmus at second after the bloop single. Double and a home run from Barlow and Newbert in this inning. There's a strike planted on the outside, 2-1. This was a scoreless game through the first 3.5 innings. Bottom 4, run came in to score for Souris Valley. And now 2 more here in the 5th.
Stacking the more pitches they're seeing, they're finally coming around.
And Martinez stays patient, maybe a little too patient. Strike number 2.
Coach Kieran's also had success with players out of the New Mexico Junior College Thunderbirds baseball program, another product right here at the plate for Eric Martinez. He had 2 on his Bancroft Bandits team that won the PCBL title, and leadoff hitter Daniel Hernandez and cleanup hitter Adrian Torres, both going on to D1 schools as well.
Big time players, big time names. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball from Martinez. Stretch from Lee puts Martinez away. Over to 3rd, races Wilmus. 2 down, it's now back to the top. top of the order, Pelayo, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored.
Now, Luis Pelayo, again, I've said this time and time again, but I just love that he's finally been able to play under Coach Kieran, as originally he was going to be a Bandit in 2020. That season canceled due to COVID. So now he's able to make magic happen in the Magic City. Just another side note I just want to throw out here. Big congrats to Ivan Melendez, former 3 hitter for those Bandits, winning the Golden Spikes Award. That's I don't think we just quite fully grasped. We knew we had a big, strong hitter a couple years ago, but we didn't know just what we had. At that point, he was Ivan Melendez out of Odessa Community College, not Texas Longhorn Golden Spikes Award winner. So that was just really cool to see that happen this past week.
Yeah, he is a talent that everybody was just in awe of all season long for Texas.
32 home runs, that's going to turn a lot of heads, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah. Pelayo shows patience, and he has back-to-back walks. So runners at the corners, 2 outs. The Sabre Dogs looking for more damage. Best average on the team with Hunter Illinois to the batter's box. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
We're going to see Coach Collin head out to the mound yet. I don't think he's ready to pull Simon just yet. He's just pulling in the infield. He's just got to get them regain their composure. This has just not been their inning from the get-go. Led things off with Barlow. Cranked that double that had warning track power. And then we had Ben Newbert almost clearing the trees power on the very next pitch. Stacked another hit there with Wilmus. He stands on third as the 4th run of this game. So it's still a pretty modest 3-0 lead, but still a tough position to be in with runners at the corners for Josh Simon. And there really is no weak part of this Souris Valley order 1 through 9. All of these guys have shown out in college, and they've shown out here a time or two again in Minot. They do have a right-hander or 2 warming up. Nothing too serious just yet. Just some light tossing around in the visiting bullpen. So Simon getting up to 74 pitches. Now Souris Valley starting to come around the plate. We'll see just who they might have in the bullpen. Again, there's a 120 pitch count limit to try and preserve the arms for every team here in the Expedition League this summer. Another new rule addition.
That's Nick Berryman warming up in the Pilots bullpen. We expected him to start actually today. Instead, they gave the ball to Simon, so not surprising to see Berryman possibly come out of the pen. Trailing 3-zip. Across the diamond at third. Trying to play hardball with Wilmus over there. Lee not afraid to take his chance.
The Pilots, they're just not that intimidated by the Sabre Dogs. You know, the runner at third, they're not afraid to throw across the diamond. I try to pull a quick move, but also just to hold Wilmus there. I mean, that's a gutsy throw to make, especially with 2 down. You're just trying to really just get a play at first or second. But they have faith, they have confidence in their ability out there in the field. But rightfully so, again, with some of the plays we've seen.
Now Pelayo's dangerous over at first. Simon knows it.
I'll still go back to say he's one of the fastest on the team despite not having the most stolen bases. Again, he's just got 3. He's 3 for 4 out there.
Doesn't have to steal a base because Delanoy drives in a run with the base knocked to right. And Pelayo trotting over to third. Heads up base running for the Sabre Dogs. They open this up to a 4-0 lead.
Well, how do you like that? Hunter Delanoy this time. He's just the 3rd pitch in the at-bat, not having to swing with 2 strikes this time. Gets a pitch he likes and does what he does best. Just turns on it, clears the infield into rights. Just makes it look effortless out there. He's got such a nice swing from the left-handed side. And he's trying to build up that hitting streak again. Not quite 20, but it's 2. And it's a good 2. He's driving in runs. He's helping his team win ball games.
And nobody's going to mention it to him this time, right?
Nope. What hitting streak?
Yeah, exactly. It's gone. Delgado swings at the first pitch. And Simon just hoping this is the final out. He is not happy with those 4 hits and 3 runs across in the 5th. 2 stranded, but it's a big Sabre Dogs 4-0 lead. After 5, the big fly from Ben Newberg.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
Mitch, I thought I saw you playing in the bouncy castle earlier today. You don't have to lie to the audience. It's okay if you were.
I wish, man. You know, I got a little nephew out there. I think he was, he might not be here tonight, but he loves running through there. Has a hard time keeping his balance, but he's equally interested trying to also open the fence, all 1 foot of him, just fighting for some baseballs. But no, there's fun for the whole family. I'm jealous of it. You take me back about, I don't know, 15 years ago, I would have loved that.
2 hours.
Yeah. Of course.
We saw our own Scott Lurch diving in there too. It's okay. Well, Ethan Swanson, 5 innings. Nothing's been quiet about his performance. 2 hits, 8 punch outs, only 1 walk, no runs. But he just sat for about 20 minutes in the dugout. Longest time he's had between innings. He's coming out with a 4-0 lead, but now has to try and resettle back in.
Yeah, it's something that's the first inning that he's not quite used to, as he's been quickly cycling in the dugout, out on the mound. But it's also got to feel nice. Finally have 4 runs at your back. Your offense finally catching up. You never really count out the Sabre Dogs. We saw a similar game like that where it was the Pilots in Sioux Falls at the Birdcage, home of the Sioux Falls Canaries. Nate Scott versus another one of our better arms, Trent Dewier. Now, it was 1-0 all the way to the bottom of the 6th. Dewier, he stayed patient and finally got some wild pitches, and it was Luis Pelayo came up big with a 2 RBI double to finally give the Sabre Dogs their first lead of the game. Dewier went on to get the win.
So you're saying the Sabre Dogs have basically won every way imaginable?
Oh, yes.
23-game win streak, and they've done it every single way possible. Jack Walton falls behind, no balls, 2 strikes. Walton today 0 for 2 with a couple of punch-outs. Carlton, Texas product is receiving Division I conversations. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He just finished up his freshman season at the Colorado School of Mines. Only had 10 at-bats, but Division I schools are looking at him because of his defensive ability and his arm from shortstop. He is one of the best you'll see in the field.
Absolutely. It's a highly touted position, not only one of the difficult ones in baseball, but really just kind of the captain of the infields. And he's got a good bat on him as well. This one hit down the line, just foul. But again, he looks like a veteran out there in the field. You know, very young player. He definitely command the infield at a Division I level. I could definitely see that. As he continues to progress at the plate this summer. Yeah, he's another guy. It's only a matter of time before he's only really going to realize that potential. And I think playing in this summer league against these type of pitchers,
oh yeah,
Swanson, Ozuna,
seniors,
yep. Yes.
graduate.
Grown men.
Yes, grown men versus 20-year-old, 18, 19-year-olds.
Yes.
Definitely changes things. Hard ground ball to shortstop. Martinez Monroe unable to save, and Walton's on at first.
I don't know, that was just a tough play right there. Walton finds a barrel. This one kind of twists and slices towards Martinez, but just look at that stop. Flick of the hips. Had to get a quick throw there as Walton got on his horse towards first. And the throw was a bit rushed, so Monroe couldn't quite make the stretch, got out of range, but second straight day that we have seen some great flashes of leather from Martinez at short. He's going to be a fun one for the rest of this summer.
Yeah, he sure will be. He's tagged with an error, though, on that play. Brings up Barkenhagen. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of punch-outs. And Swanson's only allowed 2 base hits. And there's strike one. Swanson's first start of the season. Bullpen arm up until tonight. Struck out 5 of the first 6 batters he faced. And has just cruised from there. He's given up a double, couple of singles, and that is about it. Hit by pitch for one batter, and he's ahead of Barkenhagen 0-2. Just goes to show again, Mitch, you can have somebody be a bullpen guy the majority of the summer, get a start, and be lights out.
It's just such a huge adjustment. We've seen the same thing with Brett Laura, same case as Laura and Simon. Swanson might be looking at more starts. He's without a doubt earned it. It's only a matter of if we need him to and if he's willing to, because that's a big adjustment to make.
He's a Northwest Oklahoma State product out of Division II baseball. Senior year, pitched 55 1/3. Started his career at the University of Central Oklahoma, Cali County Community College. He's played for a couple different schools, but he has made his presence known in Souris Valley.
Absolutely. We love watching him pitch.
Oh, 2, swing and a miss. Barkenhagen, 3 strikeouts.
Just got a piece of it. Would have stayed alive, but will miss. See, I only learned yesterday he's also a catcher. You know, he's listed straight up as a shortstop, but again, that's another big thing right there behind the play. He's already thrown out a runner, squeezes the ball off of the foul tip.
Making sure everybody knows it too.
Yep. Let the batter know, just like bench warmers. I caught it, you're out.
That's a great reference, by the way. League rounds 1, Monroe touches, throws, Martinez tags, and just like that, the Sabre Dogs end the top of the 6th. They scored 3 in the 5th, and they lock it down with Swanson tossing a gem.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
Guys, from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
Guys, from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry. Women's Way.
The pitcher on the hill for Red River, it's Austin Vander Brink relieves Josh Simon. He goes 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Vander Brink this season 6 1/3 on the hill, 11 strikeouts, and a 1.42 earned run average. Out of Shelby, Michigan, just finished up his freshman season at Murray State College. And a first pitch ball to the number 4 hitter, Chris Monroe, who's 0 for 2.
Well, I tell you what, Mick, this is the first time we're seeing Vander Brink on the mound, working out of the windup early here. He's looking pretty solid. Those warm-up pitches to Willers look very solid. That's a crisp fastball. He's got a slider to match that speed very well, add some movement.
And then Diesel steps in the plate and things change.
Yep.
Don't want to leave anything too close to the zone, and it's a 2-1 count.
Yeah, caught him inside. Not quite the swing that he wanted, but that's a good pitch for Vander Brink with the 2-0 count. Makes him foul it away. So this is the first time we're seeing him on the summer. 11 strikeouts, just 4 walks. The Sabre Dogs, they're just looking at a fresh right arm.
That's a good breaking pitch, too. Evens the count at 2-2. Yeah, he's only pitched against North Iowa and Pierre, so hasn't had a chance to see the Sabre Dogs until tonight. There's the 2-2, Monroe's best contact of the night as a one-hopper to the sure-handed Walton at shortstop for the first out. It's probably the one guy you don't want to hit it to on the defensive side.
Hit it to him on a one-hop. Monroe, you can't really ask for much better than that. Got a pitch up in the zone. That's so tough just to stay through it, kind of hit it on a line, but sort of downward on a hard grounder in Walton. Another guy just unfazed with how fast the ball's coming at him. And just another clean 6-3 putout. So again, it's nothing too exciting, but just how clean they're making it look out there is what's really impressive.
So now Jake Barlow, he started that 3-run 5th inning with a leadoff double. 6 homers on the season, 7 doubles now this summer. Pops the 1-0 pitch foul. Delta State product, 13 home runs, first team all-conference. 45 career home runs is the 3rd most in school history. Second place to Zach Shannon, who hit 50 in just 2 seasons. Was a Golden Spikes Award finalist, was Shannon, who's also drafted 15th round by the D-backs. So Delta State puts out good players, and Barlow's no exception. Another gap shot for him with 1 down, and he's standing on second with a 1-out double.
Very similar to last time. Barlow gets a pitch, letter high, sits back on it, keeps those hands, and fires everything at once. A great approach and great execution. Good gap-to-gap hitting. Just a couple of hops to the fence out there in left center. And Barlow just continues to go on a tear offensively. Now again, just an average right around 300, but that's a very good 300 average. Barlow.
300 is a really good average.
Yeah, no.
For this team, it's middle of the pack, I guess.
But he's a guy not afraid to bust out the tape measure at times. He can really drive it out there.
Neither's Newbert. Hit a towering home run his last at-bat, and he wanted a second one. Puts one foul off the pole.
He's got just such a big swing again, very compact. He keeps those hands just high at his shoulders, keeps them back, a big step forward, but he keeps his weight back great. And we saw just a perfect blast from him that for the 4th time execute on a home run, but not this time. He rolls over.
Flick of the wrist from Walton retires Newbert for the 2nd out. Over to 3rd races Barlow. It's now Ben Wilmus, who's 1 for 2 in his first hit as a Sabre Dog in his last at-bat.
And you know I'm an Iowa boy, so a lot of these things are really impressing me about Ben Wilmus, making an immediate impact for a Big Ten team. Again, 3-time All-State, first of 2 of those first team for the Johnston Dragons. A plethora of state titles for that program, just a suburb of Des Moines, Iowa. So he played against some of the best talent in that state. And now he's doing it at the D1 level, and he's only going to get better, just finishing his freshman season.
A freshman that played and started in 21 games.
Yes.
So it's not just a guy who played Division I baseball and had 1 or 2 games under his belt. He played a pretty much a full season at Iowa.
Yeah, he contributed, scored 23 runs, drove in 15 of his own. Watch his strike one right there, and you can tell he's got a great approach there for a young batter. The 2-0, he's just looking for one speed, one spot. Didn't get that, was a bit low and away, so keeps the bat on the shoulder, nods. But now he can expand a little bit here.
Nice bite to that pitch.
We're going to see how he can battle here with 2 strikes. Went down swinging earlier. Just trying to protect, trying to bring home another run at third.
There's the 2-2, and Wilmus races into one, puts a charge to left center. It's off the fence and an RBI double. Welcome to the Sabre Dogs.
Indeed, welcome to Minot. This is going to be very fun having Ben Wilmus on the team. That's his 2nd knock of the game. I thought that one was out of here. And Barkenhagen might get the best jump on it. He has to keep his head on a swivel, keep turning, finding the fence, trying to find the baseball. Kisses the Coke sign out there. And Wilmus just continues to impress. Already thrown out a runner, already shown great stuff behind the dish and in the right-handed batter's box with the RBI double.
Putting up a 2 for 3 day so far. It's now Crouch in the number 8 spot. 0 for 2, fly out, line out.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything from Crouch's approach last time. Executed it perfectly. He won the pitch, just happened to hit it right at the right fielder.
I mean, the guy can swing it. He just had a school record 16 homers for Missouri Western at a Division II ball this spring. So we know he can swing it, and he hit 327. It's just a matter of stringing all those good games together.
That's right, 2-time All-Conference for the Griffins. He's their home run leader now.
Hard grounder toward Kirkman. Ends the 6th, one more comes across, and it's a 5-0 lead for a team that's won 23 consecutive games. They're doing it every way possible. And the newest Minot member, Ben Wilmus, drives in the 5th run of the game.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way.
Tip of the cap from the Sabre Dogs to their starting pitcher, Ethan Swanson, goes 6 strong innings in his first start of the season. Paves the way for Marco Ozuna Mitch, I'll let you talk about it because you're excited about this guy.
Oh, you can tell I'm excited. He just finished up his season at a perennial community college. Cochise. It's from Casa Grande, Arizona, and his past spring numbers are no joke. 1.87 ERA in 63 innings out of the bullpen, struck out an even 100 batters, walked only 16, voted as the 2022 ACC Pitcher of the Year. Get ready, he already offers up strike one. You blink and you miss it.
It's Isaac Becker who gets to be possibly the first victim of Ozuna on the hill. Say that again, strikeout to walk ratio 100-16.
You betcha.
All right.
And there's the slider. Just missing for ball one, but already we've only seen 2 appearances for Ozuna, just 5 complete innings. Came in the game that Ben Newbert walked it off against Red River. It was a tie ball game, so Ozuna got the dub in the bullpen. He was outstanding. Look at that fastball. They're going to appeal, and they're just saying he laid off. And not too sure. Coach Kieran is just looking for, just not really much of an appeal. But again, Ozuna, 12 strikeouts in the 5 innings we've seen so far. He's yet to give up a base hit. He has already shown the Expedition League what he's capable of with the Fremont Moo last year.
The Sabre Dogs bench is not having it.
I'm not sure if he's let up a base runner just yet, but this might be the closest, if not. 3 balls, 1 strike to Becker.
And Becker's 0 for 2 today, and it's a full count for Ozuna. So 1 run in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th for the Sabre Dogs. They hadn't put up a hit until the 5th inning. Scored a run without logging a hit. Well, if a fastball is going to come in that fast, you may as well try and turn on it.
Yep. So the Sabre Dogs, again, they've been able to score in 3 consecutive innings after, unlike themselves, they've been scoreless for longer stretches than just the first 3 innings of this one, but that was quite unlike something else. So Simon, he still should feel good with how he challenged Souris Valley tonight.
Wave and a miss, and Ozuna, first batter he faces, sets him down, so he continues Swanson's powerful pitching approach. 9th strikeout of Pilot's batters today.
So Ozuna has already walked 2 batters on the summer. However, he still has an unscathed ERA and batting average opposing. So that is strikeout number 13 on the summer.
That's silly. That's silly numbers.
He's got a blonde mullet and a flamethrower for a right hand.
I want to see our own cameraman Scott Lurch pull off a mullet. I think that's one of my dreams.
I could see it.
Yeah, I could too.
See, I'm getting a front row look at it right here.
He would give me one of those, oh, back in my heyday I could. And now I would say, Scott, it is your heyday. You still can.
That's no time like the present. It's making a comeback.
I agree. Jesse Schwab, though, our other cameraman, he's close to a mullet, if not already a mullet.
That's neck lettuce.
Yeah,
that's
I think so.
yes.
You're getting close, too.
Yeah, I've just been putting it off. Been too busy, and I don't know. It's easy for me to throw it up in a cap.
No balls and 2 strikes for Ozuna against Willers. 1-2. Willers is 1 for 2, had the first hit of the game, a double back in the 2nd.
You know, Mick, with all this talk about the hair, it was a couple of weeks ago. We left it up to the players to vote who has the best hair in the Sabre Dogs. We had 6 votes for both Seth Delgado and Ben Newbert. We haven't really had a tiebreaker yet. You've seen a little bit. We'll let you, after this pitch, kind of vote on that, if you have a say. Between Delgado and left are DH Newbert's. Probably the most volume on the team, but I don't know. Ozuna voted for himself, obviously.
Yeah, of course, he had to.
Yes. I'm glad somebody voted for him. Just look at it.
Here comes the 1-2, and that is just a nasty breaking ball for his 2nd strikeout. This is impressive stuff. 10 punch-outs for the Sabre Dogs pitching today. It's now Tyler Wilshire. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out of the 7th spot. Criminal justice major from Tucson, Arizona. Finished up his senior season at Minot State this past year, playing at this ballpark. And he takes a massive swing to try and run into a fastball from Ozuna to no avail.
Now again, after the first appearance we saw from Marco out of the bullpen, it was 2 innings, got the W, struck out 4, did not allow a single base runner to the Pilots, and that's the first hit given up. So I really gotta, I don't know, I might have a problem jinxing some of these guys.
You know, I don't believe in the broadcast jinx, but when it comes to you, I might start.
Yeah, sorry Marco, but this was just a good swing by Wiltshire. Again, he gets on plane early, dips down low, and that's just a good line drive right there. Splits Barlow and Delanoy perfectly. But Marco, after that debut win, hadn't pitched for 12 days. So that was June 11th we first saw him. And we didn't see him again until June the 23rd when he got an inning against the Trappers. A couple days later, he was good to go again for 2 more against the Roosters. That was the 25th. Just 3 days later, and he's still looking fresh.
Couldn't tell he pitched 3 days ago.
Oh, no.
It's now Carter Payne. He's 0 for 1, walked in the 5th. And no movement there from Wiltshire at first with 2 outs.
And not quite a dirt ball read that time, but it just pops out of the mitt of Wilmus. Again, that's something that you could probably judge if you get a good secondary lead. You're that much closer off the bag from first. But just a missed opportunity there to maybe steal another one. That time it was just a good stop by Wilmus. The slider running away from Payne, the batter. Tried to block it. Luckily, he just grasped the ball. One like that might have kicked it towards the dugout, and that could have been another easy bag for Wiltshire on first.
Good play from Wilmus on a good pitch from Ozuna. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 down, man at first. Sabre Dogs with a 5-0 lead. 23-game win streak on the line. It was tied 0-0 after 3 innings tonight. A sunny and 75-degree evening from Minot. Couldn't draw up a better night on June 28th.
We've lucked out with some of the weather we've gotten here the past few nights.
There's the 2-2, has some bite, misses the zone. And it's 3-2. Wiltshire can take off with the pitch.
So second time this inning, Ozuna's gotten to a full count. This time he started way up in the count against Payne, but he stays patient. Stays within himself to lay off the sliders that miss outside. So just got to think base hit ball 4 here. Anything close. Does a good job wasting that pitch. So it was tough enough for them to really time up Swanson. Guy with plenty of movement and velocity, but Ozuna, he's just another one of those pitchers that I just label as just a tenacious competitor. He's going right after these batters. Gets the 2 strikes, tries to throw around them with a slider, but now he's going to force him to go right after him.
And he does. Martinez there off the hop. And after a 2-out single, Payne retired to end at the top of the 7th. Stretch time. Sabre Dogs looking for more.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
Beautiful night In Minot, 5-0 Sabre Dogs lead the Pilots here on Beck Sports. Happy you're with us for a little Expedition League baseball.
Got Austin Vandenbrink out there on the mound. It's kind of tough to see how the Sabre Dogs got a run off of him in the sixth. Just good base hitting. Again, that was highlighted by that Ben Wilmus RBI double off the fence. But Vandenbrink is still looking pretty sharp warming up here in the bottom of the seventh. Plenty of those pitches coming in crisp. Let's see what he does here with the 9-hitter Martinez leading off, then back to the top of the order.
Martinez today 0 for 1 with a walk in the third. Only 4 plate appearances, another 4 at-bats for Martinez in his young Sabre Dogs career, but pretty short sample on the offensive end. Defensively, he's been great.
Yep. Just about 5'9", about 160, so a bit smaller, but he's quick, very agile, and he just fields the ball so cleanly. Again, going back to that one off of Walton, couldn't quite cap it off, had a bit of a rush throw. He'll foul off strike 2, but now his fielding ability again has already turned some heads. It's just game number 2 for him. But he's a very patient hitter. Now, he already walked his last at bat. He's not getting fooled by anything outside of the zone. I believe he knows it very well, at least from the early showings.
There's the 1-2 check swing, holds up 2-2.
So a good slider from Vandenbrink, but even with 2 strikes, Martinez trusts that it's a ball, and indeed it was.
That one's about as close as you can get without it being a strike. Full count.
That was a very good looking pitch there from Vandenbrink.
And Pilots thought so too.
Yep.
Goes from a possible strikeout to a broken bat, ground ball to second, and Kirkman puts away Martinez, makes sure that that doesn't come back to bite him. 1 down, back to the top of the order with Pelayo. He's 0 for 1 with a couple of walks.
Again, Pelayo, he's been a very dominant hitter, able to do his job and well out of the leadoff spot for Souris Valley. Second on the team, I believe, to Monroe with his astonishing 50 runs batted in. He has 33. He's also scoring them as well. He's got 34 out of the leadoff hole.
Tough for Kirkman, barely beats Pelayo. And it's now Hunter Delanoy, who is 1 for 3, an RBI single to 5th.
Well, Delanoy did his job with a runner in scoring position. We already saw that RBI double with runners on the corners. That 471 average, testament again, just how consistent and just this sustained level of success. No matter if it's summer ball, no matter if it's spring ball, it's really hard to come by. Delanoy still has 1 year of eligibility left for the Warriors of Wayne State, and he's already their career batting average record holder at 357. Already over 3 years as a starter. He was freshman of the year and already 3-time all-conference.
Yeah, that's just a machine, putting on a clinic.
Yeah.
I think a guy like him would get some looks at the next level, right?
Oh, absolutely.
He rolls over the 1-1 to Lee. Makes it himself, 3 unassisted, 3 ground balls, and that ends the 7th. 2 innings to work with for the Pilots to make a comeback.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
Valley Sabre Dogs 5-0 lead. That's some good prime seating. Get your food, look at the bouncy castle, watch your kids run around, see some good baseball. A team that's on a 23-game win streak.
The VIP patio section, competitive prices to see the game just past the Sabre Dogs dugout. Maybe interact with the players. I'm sure we'll see a handful of kids, probably the same ones that ran them out to their respective positions before the first pitch. Maybe get some signed autographs on some souvenir balls as well. We've seen that pretty much after every home game here at Court, but that's always really cool to see.
Definitely a fan favorite activity. Talk to the players, hang out, get some autographs. It's 9-1-2. Kirkman leads things off against Ozuna. Grounder toward Martinez. He's been sure gloved over there today, and I guess the broadcaster jinx does work in this booth.
That was tough. He charged in on a dribbler his way, so he did that job perfectly again. We've already seen this once cost Red River, but on the transfer, couldn't quite grab it, got rushed again. This good hustle from Kirkman, so maybe the speed and their just overall level of hustle might have been overlooked up to this point of the season, because they force stuff like that to happen.
Brings up the switch hitting Joey Hayden. One at bat today after coming in for Alex Miller. Grounded out to second.
You know, I gotta tell you, Mike, this is pretty surprising to see so far 7 consecutive goose eggs up on that scoreboard after a night where Red River out-hit the Sabre Dogs 11 base hits to 10, and they still threw up 4 runs. They were challenging early and all the way to the end of the game, and they also had 4 pilots with multi-hit games, but tonight just 4 total hits, and that just once again could be a credit to the quality of the 2 pitchers we've seen for Souris Valley tonight.
I was just about to say, you're going up against Ethan Swanson and now Ozuna. It has not been an easy day for the pilots.
I couldn't get any hits off either of those guys, so it's impressive they got 4.
I wouldn't either. There's an off-speed pitch. Hayden waves and misses.
So again, last time we had you guys aboard against the Pure Trappers. That's kind of what we saw, exactly what we saw yesterday, as a matter of fact, with Brett Laura, with the start, then Tyler Elliott coming in relief. More great performances out of both of them in both of those straight games. So again, we're still having Goody, Dewyer on standby, as well as Joel Barker and Bree Butts, some of our 4-stars. We had our ace Jacob Wesselman already signed pro with the Grand Junction Rockies out of the Pioneer League. So when we get this deep in our staff and these many games played consecutively, then you got to call on your bullpen. But the likes of Laura and Swanson out of the start, they've just been phenomenal. So we can't ask for anything better out of them.
Yeah, the bullpen can rest just a little bit.
They've earned it.
1-2. Hayden lifts one left field. And Delgado makes it an easy first out. It's now Jack Walton. He's 0 for 3. Did reach on an error in the 6th.
So I got to point out once again, the Sabre Dogs were on a 13 games straight stretch of games for 13 straight days, and they finally got their off day. It was last Tuesday we saw them against Pierre, and now it's 10 straight days again. So this season's a grind again. With the 4-team Expedition League, you're looking at a lot of familiarity, a lot of the same teams, but it's a lot of competitive baseball. So it's a grind this summer. That next off day is going to be coming this Friday after a 2-game stay at Red River. So Sabre Dogs gonna have to rest up tonight before getting that 3-hour road trip down Route 2 here in North Dakota. But it's, again, really interesting just to see how they continue to prevail. 23 games in a row is no joke, but they don't have a whole lot of resting time as well. It's just go, 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 and they're still executing.
And that's been important, right, to bring in all these new players that have fresh legs, fresh arms, fresh bats, as Walton waggles and misses. Ball and 2 strikes. And you still have arms like Ozuna, who haven't pitched very many innings this summer. Swanson can come in and now possibly be a starting pitcher, get you 6 innings on any given night. Feels like the dynamic is trending in the right direction in that regard for the Sabre Dogs. There's the 1-2, poked foul by Walton.
across the league. Down at Hyde Stadium, the Trappers on top of the Ragin' Roosters 4-3. That game only in the top of the 5th. Souris Valley still comfortably in the first place slots, 27-1.
Say that again.
27-1.
There we go.
Yes. Just so impressive. Red River right behind them at 11-14. Pierre 9-20. I believe North Iowa now 7-19, I want to say.
Those three teams that aren't the Sabre Dogs have beat up on each other, but they've also taken their chops against Souris Valley. And it's no fault to them. Everybody's getting beat by this team.
Absolutely. It's really the new challenge. You know, this winning streak started when they were still 4-1, so I don't think we were really expecting to keep that one blemish on the year up to this point.
They've won 33 the past 34 games, dating back to that 9-game win streak to end the championship season a year ago.
And it's a new look Sabre Dog squad, but the goals obviously remain the same. You know, back to back, we keep hearing it all the time, echoing through the clubhouse. You know, these guys, they want to show out and they're having fun winning ball games again.
There's the payoff pitch. Walton sprays one center field. Pelayo pulls up, and it's a base knock. Back-to-back base runners. Check that. Split base runners. Kirkman led off with a reached on an error, then a fly out. So a single here from Walton, his first base hit of the day.
That's a good hit from Walton again. Challenged by Ozuna, stays within himself, gets a pitch at the knees, and gets on plane with it easily. Bounces it off that center field logo, Pelayo. Trying to take away a hit, but probably made the right move. You know, had to take a few hard steps, you know, to just get in front of that ball. Don't want to make a dive or misread it. Because again, Walton can hustle. So can Kirkman out there at second. Forced another error from Martinez at short with his hard 90, so that could have easily been the first 2 runs of the game for the Pilots. Sad Pelayo, you know, misread that base hit.
And Barkenhagen, 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts, and he's down 0-1 to Ozuna. This could be a chance for the Pilots. This is their best opportunity, and only the 2nd inning they've had multiple runners on at the same time.
Barkenhagen, he's just got to dig deep here. You know, it's a tough day at the plate, but you just got to flush it. No matter what happens your last at bat, it was your last at bat. What matters is the next pitch. He takes a very nice swing there, gets a piece of it, fouls it straight back towards us. Down 0-2.
Not a spot you want to be against Ozuna, right?
No. 0-2, 1 down with 2 runners on. It's gut check time here. He's just trying to battle.
Well, if they can avoid the double play, cleanup guy Jalen Lee.
Now that's a good position to be in.
Yeah. He waits on deck.
He's come through time and time again with runners in scoring position. Again, I go back to that first home series. Showed up for the Pilots. He looked very impressive out of the gates, and he's been able to sustain his success at the plate, .316 average.
Barkenhagen pops one right field line. Delanoy with a long run. This one drops in. Turns and throws, and it keeps everybody on their bases, so no runs come in to score on the single from Barkenhagen, but at the very least, it loads the bases. The ever-dangerous Jalen Lee, who's 1 for 3 in a single back in the 4th. Delanoy's had a tough time with some of these balls today, just dropping down in weird spots.
Yeah, he's been challenged. You know, that's to say this. That's to be safe. You know, that one that turned into a triple earlier along the line. You know, you're backpedaling towards the fence. That's always a tough spot to be. You don't know if it's out. So again, he's been challenged. That was a great hit for Barkenhagen. 2 strikes, and you know, trust the approach. You know, get a fastball on the outside. Do what you just do what you got to with that one. Stay inside, hit the inside laces, hit it to right fields, and he's got his first hit.
Bases loaded. Ozuna the 1-0. Foul ball to Lee. Well, Jalen Lee, as Coach Holm has said, has been a surprise here in the best way possible. Started off the season on fire. Go-ahead home run to help us win a game early. And Coach Holm said he got a chance to meet Lee for the first time when he and his wife moved to Virginia Beach, because his wife's in the Navy.
Wow.
It's about an hour away from the school, so that's how they got in contact. As Lee waves and misses on an Ozuna heater, ball and 2 strikes. And then he helped MACU, Mid-Atlantic Christian University, out with some of their spring seasons, and that's how they got to become even more familiar. So he said, hey, I know that school well. Let's bring in some guys. Lee was one of those dudes that came in with Holem to Red River in the expansion league, or the expansion team's first year in the Expedition League, and now he just goes out and competes. He said Jalen Lee is one of those guys you just need in your lineup night in and night out.
That's a really awesome story. Yeah, Lee has been a nearly everyday starter at first base. You can tell he's plays the game right, and he crushes one to center.
Pelayo, long run, past his glove. This one might clear the bases. 2 in to score. Barkenhagen holds it third, and it's a clutch 2 RBI double from Jalen Lee.
You know, Pelayo already made one catch over the shoulder, but he crushed that one, and it just kept carrying away all the way to the fence in the right center gap. Took off in a hurry, and again, we said it's a good position to be in, and it's a new ball game now. They still have 1 out on the board. Any fly ball could be a job done for Isaac Becker here. Coach Kieran out. He's just got to slow the game down a little bit as these Pilots are starting to warm up at the plate.
And tying runs at the plate with Becker, who's 0 for 3, a couple of punch outs, but it's a big spot for Ozuna to get a chance to work in and out of trouble now. These are positions that pitchers, relief pitchers specifically, have to be accustomed to working out of, especially as you get deeper in the season. Absolutely.
So Ozuna commit to Southeastern in the NAIA. I'm sure he's going to be still looking at great competition as he did at the 2-year level. And now he's looking at a hungry Pilots team, and indeed they're hungry. He received some encouragement from his infielders. You love to see it.
You don't see that very often, though, do you? Like high fives, handshakes, things like that, and trying to pump up your guys. I like that.
Yeah, no, this is a great group of guys we have here. You know, quickly, you know, they're just good guys that gel well together. They trust in each other's capabilities. I think the same can be said about Red River. You know, this is now you're looking at all these new players starting to come in later in the year for Souris Valley, but this might just be identical to their day 1 roster for Red River. They've stayed with it. So it's really cool, again, to see them with chemistry.
Becker absolutely runs into one, and it's a 3-run bomb to tie the game. Isaac Becker goes deep for the first time this season, and what a time to do it.
Wow.
5 runs in the 8th.
I said don't count out the dogs, but don't count out these Pilots. It does not matter what happened in their past at-bats. Barkenhagen got the hit to load him up. Lee brought home 2, and then Becker brings home the rest. 0 for 3 before that, but now he has a huge night with a huge 3-run bomb to tie it up.
Well, Coach Holem said you cannot count us out. We may be an expansion team, we may be 11-14, but we're the only team that's beaten Souris Valley as Willers takes the first pitch ball. And we are a team that's just going to fight. He said expansion teams aren't expected to compete. They're not expected to win. He said we don't act like that. We don't take that attitude. And boy, is it paying off here in the 8th inning. And you said it. You were surprised to see 7 goose eggs for the Pilots offense through the first 7 frames. It's quick.
Well,
that's changed in a hurry.
Yeah, indeed it did. It's once again a whole new ball game. We've seen the complexity change so much. As you mentioned, we were scoreless through 3.5. It was kind of weird how we got our first run of the game. A pickoff that moves from Pelayo, not from first to second, but all the way to third. He scores on a wild pitch. And the Sabre Dogs come to life. And now in this 8th inning alone, a 5 spot to tie it. But there's still just 1 out. They're not done just yet. And we got 2-2. To Willers.
Well, it's a tie game too, so we're approaching 8th, 9th innings. You know what happens after that. So here's the 2-2. Another ball for Delanoy to try and play down that right field line, and it's foul.
You know, what started off as a good first inning for Ozuna, the second really just has not gone his way. He's hitting his spots, but Red River is hitting those pitches as well. They're battling. Didn't take them long to catch up. And already Ozuna, 29 pitches in this inning alone, and he's up to 50 total.
Willer's another Davenport, Iowa native, right near the hometown of Coach Holm. Coach Holm says Willers is just a special kid. He strikes out here. Second out here in the 8th. And that is a big second out. Feels like a little bit of weight lifted off Ozuna's shoulder.
Not out of the woods just yet. There's a little bit more confidence setting in with Red River. They just try to stay within themselves in the ballgame, just try and do their job. It does not matter what the score is. It does not matter what Souris Valley has put up statistical-wise.
Shire fouls one off.
As this one gets fouled away, I think it was just one of these past series when Red River came to visit. One of them might have ended pretty one-sided for Souris Valley, but Holm says, you guys just got to come out and compete. We cannot keep playing these guys this way. We need to be playing them close. We need to be playing more sharply. Wiltshire cranks this one deep center.
And it's past Pelayo again. This is trouble. Wiltshire on his horse. He's quick. And it's a 2-out chance at home. And he is gunned down, tries the circle button move at the last moment, but it's a triple in the scorebook. Coach Holm took a chance. He's smiling as they head off the field with 5 big ones in for the 8th. So why not be aggressive, try and go take the lead. Pilots tie things up.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
Guys, from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Val Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way.
Well, it's a whole new ball game, and the end of the top of the 8th ended with fireworks after 5 runs came across to score. This was the final out of the inning. Wiltshire hit one to deep center field, turned the corner to go to home, and Martinez easily had him. But we were talking about this. You may as well try it, because you just tied the game with 5 runs. Momentum's on your side. You may as well give it a shot.
Yeah, looking back at that play, it looks like Wiltshire, he was prepared to stop at third, kind of just stutter step, but we had our eyes on Holm, and all he's doing, he's not even waving, he's just pointing home. He's just saying, go. Go for the plate.
It's now 3, 4, and 5, Delgado, Monroe, and Barlow. It's a whole new ball game. This was a 5-0 lead after 7 innings. 5 runs by Red River in the top of this inning to tie it up. We were scoreless through 3. Sabre Dogs, best offense in the league on a 23-game win streak, didn't have a hit until the 5th when they played at 3 runs. And take a deep breath.
Yep.
Everybody, Delgado's 0 for 3 up against Vanderbrink, who relieved Simon's 5 innings. And now it's 3-1.
It's just crazy to think 7 straight scoreless innings to start for Red River, but flush it, flush all of it. What matters is the next pitch, and they won the top of the 8th inning. That was incredible as Delgado, that's a nice base hit into right field, but Say Martinez doesn't have that great of a throw to the plate on the relay. It was a one-hopper to Wilmus, led him right between the plate and Wiltshire to score. Say he scores, and it's an entirely new ball game rather than tie. Now the pressure's on the Sabre Dogs as they entered the 8th, winning 5-0. But now it's all tied up.
That's baseball.
Yes,
that is baseball. Best way to explain it.
Very interesting start to the 8th. But Delgado does his job leading off with that single. That's huge.
And it's now Chris Monroe. Diesel's 0 for 3. 0 for 7 in his last 2 games. Very uncharacteristic small stretch for him. Can break out in a big way with an at-bat here. We know he's capable of that. 14 homers, 50 runs batted in. Finished up his senior season at Central Michigan, just played 1 year there. 3 seasons at Illinois Springfield. 30 home runs in 3 seasons there, second in program history. Racked up 142 runs batted in. 2-time all-conference player. And it's a 1-1 count against Chris Monroe, all-star player in the Prospect and Northwoods leagues. So he's played all over the country and done it at a pretty high level everywhere he's gone.
Absolutely, he just crushes summer ball pitching with success, like you mentioned, those all-star levels. We talked with him yesterday. He says, yeah, this win streak's cool. I was on one that reached 29.
Casually dropped 29.
So it's not quite that good. It's great. Don't get me wrong. I already did win 1 championship with Traverse City in the Northwoods, so it'd be cool to win one again. So not quite back-to-back with Souris Valley, but back-to-back in a sense. So he competes. He started every game for the Sabre Dogs.
Lifts one, center field, and Aid makes the play to put Monroe back to the bench.
So again, not quite his night offensively. Another 0 for 4 night, but I wouldn't trade him for anything at first base. The guy competes. The guy is a veteran hitter, and with the tear that he's been on, yeah, I wouldn't.
You expect 0 for 8 droughts every once in a while.
Yeah, you don't just play this great for this long, and we're going to go back to the bullpen for Red River.
So it's 2 1/3 for Vanderbrink. And we'll take a break, come back, preview the new picture for the Pilots.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way.
So you want to face a team on a 23-game win streak. Okay, 5 runs in the top of this 8th inning for the Pilots to tie things up. New pitcher faces the best part of the order today. Jake Barlow, Ben Newbert, Ben Wilmus, 5, 6, and 7. New man on the hill, Jackson Lucas, just finished up his sophomore season at Wallace Community College, Selma. And a 0-1 pitch, swing, and a pop-up from Barlow. And it's a tough play, and it's made by Walton, falling to the ground, and finds a way to get it done. So Jackson Lucas this year, 29 total innings pitched this season, ERA just below 5 at 4.65. 30 strikeouts to 18 walks, and he gets some help from his defense.
Yeah, Walton This effort right here stays with the play. Tough read, but that's out number 2. And another pop-up.
Well, Lucas is extremely pleased with those couple of pitches to get out of a jam and end the 8th inning. We're tied 5-all. Top of the 9th. Here we go.
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
As from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
Well, this one looked like it was pretty well settled, and then baseball said it's baseball. And 5 runs for the Pilots in the top of the 8th have us tied up with 1 frame to go, and then chaos could possibly ensue with the winner-take-all home run derby extra inning rule in the Expedition League. So 6 outs to work with.
Well, there has just been time and time again we have seen such great matchups between these 2 teams, separated by Route 2 here in North Dakota. Now, top of the 9th, tied up at 5. We might see the derby. One of these teams might scratch off some wins. I would not turn away. This is going to be coming down to the wire.
Only team that's beaten Souris Valley this year in 28 tries for opposing teams is this Pilots team. They trailed 5-0 after the first 7 innings, 5 runs in that 8th, and it's 8-9-1 due up. Payne, Kirkman, and Hayden against Ozuna, who gave up all 5 of those runs in the 8th.
Offers up strike 1 to Carter Payne, 0 for 2, but you got to look past the past at bats. The Pilots, they're competing every next pitch here, and again, there's another hit.
Yeah, they sure are. Payne with the base knock. That is hit number 9 for the Pilots. Make that hit number 10.
Number 2, Jared.
It's now Jared Kirkman, who's 1 for 3, had a triple in the 5th, scored a run in the 8th. But that's just a good swing from Payne.
That's a big swing right there. No outs on the board. The go-ahead run reaching safely, and that could potentially be the Pilots' first lead of this one.
And a bunt. Pushed foul by Kirkman.
They're going to try to manufacture that 6th run of the game. Kirkman showing bunt, trying to push it to the first base side. Just trying to move him up closer. Get him in a better chance to score here. Kirkman. Indeed, he already tripled in this one. The Pilots have been hitting the right side of the field very nicely all night tonight.
And look, regardless of how the Pilots do it, if they win this game, it will be impressive, whether they score another or a couple here in the 9th and win it in a 9-inning game, or if they win it in the Derby. Either way, this is going to be an impressive win if they can do it. And for the Sabre Dogs, it would be one of those breath of relief if they do end up winning this game. Ozuna has a play at second. Rockets one there. Martinez unable to beat Kirkman. Fielder's choice.
Now that is huge right there. Again, credit these summer ball players. They've only known these guys for a matter of days, maybe weeks. And Ozuna knew right where he was going with it. He got to the bunt in plenty of time to make that throw to second. Martinez right there to get the out. Kirkman still fast enough to break up a double play. But that's big right there. That's the first out, and all they do is trade places.
It's now Joey Hayden 0 for 2. Off the bench today. Entered for Alex Miller, who was hit by a pitch and left injured. Waving a miss from Hayden.
Swing and a miss for strike 1, but Wilmus with a big backhanded stop. If that one gets away from him, then Kirkman's across the diamond. And then you're looking at the same situation if that sac bunt had worked.
Right at the belt. 0-2.
I was even wondering about the home run derby. Should we get to that? We'll have those rules for you. It makes plenty of sense, but I don't know. Swing and a miss. Out number 2. I don't know. I'd be fine with just a walk-off, you know.
Sure. All the Sabre Dog fans would like the drama to be finished in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah.
However, power is not in the Pilots' back pocket. Coach Holm even said we are a singles bunt steel bag type team. Today's been a different story. They've had extra base hit galore. They've had a couple of doubles, a triple, and a home run that tied this game. So they could be in that position too as Walton takes a first pitch ball. But the Sabre Dogs have the likes of Barlow, Newbert, Delgado, Monroe, of course. Wilmus has proven he can hit the ball deep. Crouch. They have some deep threats if it were to go to a derby.
They're already 1-0. They beat the Roosters in that 3 home runs to 1.
Walton swings on the hit and run. Kirkman will have to go back to first.
With that matchup, we had Monroe, Newbert, and Barlow. And now that we're talking about home runs, we had 6 between 3 players so far for the Pilots. And for the Sabre Dogs, with Newbert's tonight, 42.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
42.
And Coach Holm probably knows that in the back of his mind. That's why he probably tried to send Wilkshire to score that run in the 8th on that potential inside the park home run. Doesn't want to get into a home run derby with Souris Valley.
Well, they do many things well. They many great intangibles, great defense, great hustle, and also plenty of speed up and down the roster. Almost paid off for him. Wilkshire possesses both of those, a great glove and speed, able to burn Pelayo in center almost for the 2nd time this season. We see an inside the park home run. Pelayo, the center fielder, the only one who has done that. But that would have been insane if that gave them the lead in the 8th.
Yeah, just think about where we stand now and how that's going to play later. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, a man on first. Walton trying to preserve the inning. For the Pilots against Ozuna, swing and a miss, and Ozuna comes back after giving up 5 in the 8th to put up a goose egg in the 9th. The Sabre Dogs either walk it off in the 9th or we go see a home run derby. How about it here from Minot?
Beautiful day to get out on the course, isn't it, Corey?
Without a doubt, Brian. And Scotty here was thinking the exact same thing.
There's a lot on the line for him today. He told his friends he's a scratch golfer, but the numbers today suggest otherwise. Ooh, swing and a miss.
Looks like he's excited to find that Titleist. Unfortunately, he was playing with Mojos.
Ooh, and a major infraction just occurred. Can we get another look at that?
Guys, from my angle, it looks like he's got about a 10, 12-foot putt, slightly.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way,
Expedition baseball at its finest. Bottom of the 9th, 3 outs to work with for the Pilots pitching staff. 3 outs to work with for the Sabre Dogs offense that has 23 straight wins in the back pocket. If they don't score, we see Derby, power on display. Sabre Dogs would prefer to end it here with 7, 8, 9 due up. Wilmus, Crouch, and Martinez against Lucas, who will lead in the 8th. Wilmus has been good in his Sabre Dogs debut. 2 for 3 with an RBI double in the 6th. He leads things off.
You know, really, like you said, Expedition League baseball at its finest. This could very well be the Championship Series preview right here with just how well these teams have played each other, first versus second in the standings. And with how deep they get in these ball games, it's only imagining you could see a push. Plus, I really believe that the Pilots pitching has just really shown its depth here tonight. You know, now you have Simon confident out there. He has been successful for those I would even say the first 4 frames, he was dominating. But then you have Vandenbreek, I believe, coming in relief. He was solid through 2 1/3. And now you got Jackson Lucas out there. Normally the starter, he's got the most innings for the Red River pitchers. Held them scoreless in the 8th. But 3 straight balls, a little bit of chin music there to Wilmus. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he holds his own here in the bottom of the 9th.
There's a 3-0 strike.
Interesting to see if Wilmus has the green light. I think he would, but he's got to be picky here, looking for his pitch.
And he gets his pitch. Rockets one, left field. Barkenhagen on the warning track, and the game continues. A loud first out.
Now it's shot high and deep off the bat. A good swing from Wilmus, but he was just under it. You see Barkenhagen not really racing back, kind of just lofting back, trying to find the ball on the warning track, drifts to his left, stays with it. I don't know if he knew how close he was to the fence.
There's Alex Crouch. He's 0 for 3, first pitch ball. And going back to what you said about Red River and Souris Valley, maybe this is a preview of what's to come later in the postseason. The 14 losses by the Pilots, yes, they have a losing record, but 11 of those are against Souris Valley. So when you stack it up, it's like, is it really that bad of a record when you've lost 11 times to a 27-1 team?
Nope.
Not at all.
By all means not. Some of the closest calls to defeat for Souris Valley have come so far. Not on their heels right now. The pressure's still on them to end it.
There's the 1-1. Broken bat roller toward lead. This is going to be tough, but Lucas unable to find the bag. He claims he did. The ump says no.
He could not find it. The bat snaps at the neck for Crouch. Good teamwork, you know, obviously from Lee to Lucas, but you can see him kicking around here, dancing, even on principle. Whether he touched it, I don't even think he touched it. Could not find the bag in time.
That's an E1. Big base runner for the Sabre Dogs, and Eddie Martinez going to pitch run.
It's number 23, Eddie.
Martinez, 6'5".
Long, lengthy, fast. And it brings up Eric Martinez. He's 0 for 2 with a walk in the 3rd.
He's bigger, but he's fast. He'd be like Secretariat out there. Who knows? I haven't really seen much of the speed out of Martinez yet.
Martinez and Martinez trying to combo things up to end this one.
Martinez 4 for 5 on the base pass if he chooses to steal here.
Even count, a ball and a strike. Palaio waits on deck in the hole, Delanoy for the Sabre Dogs. If they get that deep with 1 down, bottom 9 have a chance to walk it off and win 24 straight. Martinez patience paying off 2-1.
Martinez still looking for his first knock. Really no time like the present here. Bottom of the 9th, 1 man on.
And it's 2-2. 5 runs in the 8th for Red River. If you're just joining us, there's a 5-0 lead for Souris Valley. 1 run in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th. That was scoreless through 3. Lucas, the 2-2 inside corner, freezes Martinez. And it's up to Palaio to continue this. 1 out away from home run derby time. If it does happen, we'll get you the rules. But Palaio and Souris Valley have a chance to continue this 9th. First pitch.
1-0 to Palaio here, 0 for 2, a pair of walks. Hasn't quite gotten his pitch to drive yet tonight.
Leaves that one, 1-1. Santa Cruz Cruz Aruba product. Aruba just north of Caracas in Venezuela. One of a few Aruba products in the Expedition League this year. Martinez leads it first. Here's the 1-1, and it becomes 1-2.
From Santa Cruz, same hometown as tonight's starting pitcher for Red River, Josh Simon. Before we even played our first game, they already were buddy-buddy. They knew each other. That was pretty cool to see.
Lucas trying to send us to a home run derby. And we'll live to see another pitch, 2-2.
Just off the plate, Pelayo with intent on it, but he keeps the bat on the shoulder.
This pitch, if this count gets to 3-2 and Martinez could take off, a base in the gap, probably ends the game. But it's not going to get to 3-2. Kirkman to Walton, and let's go Derby in. 5-5 at the end of 9. Let's keep it here, and let's go over the rules and see how things all shake out with the home run derby here in the Expedition League. So 9 innings are complete. There are no extra innings. Mitch, let's run through them.
All right, so both Red River and Souris Valley are going to select 3 players for this home run competition. Each of the 6 players will have 5 swings. Pitches that are not swung at do not count towards the 5 swings. So it's 5 swings, not 5 pitches. Visiting team, their first player will bat first, then followed by the home team's first selection. This will go on for hitters 2 and 3 as well, away first, home second. And the team with the most home runs will win this game. If the number of home runs is tied after the 6 players have batted, it will be sudden death between players 1 versus 1. They'll go head to head. Once one team has more home runs after this, the game is over. So if neither of the first hitters selected has a home run in their swings, then they're just going to keep going on, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, so on, so forth.
This is when it gets fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
A 23-game win streak is on the line, and it comes down to a home run derby.
It's incredible. This is...
After 5 runs from Red River to keep this game alive in the 8th inning. Okay, so if play manager here for me, Mitch. Who you taking 1, 2, and 3 for the Pilots on the offensive end? Jalen Lee's got to be a part of that discussion, right?
Oh, Jalen Lee is without a doubt up there. He's got the 1 home run. You got Micah Barkenhagen with the gloves and the bat on, and Isaac Becker, one of your bigger hitters. He's had a good JUCO program in Iowa Central.
And hit a home run today.
Yep. So I think that is exactly who we're seeing. All it just matters is the order. Now for Souris Valley, let's see. We got Chris Monroe, no doubt about that one. Ben Newbert, he didn't hit a home run in the Bancroft Derby, but he already has one tonight.
Yeah. Maybe Jake Barlow.
Yep. You have Barlow out there. He already lived for the first Derby. All that matters is the order. We're probably going to be seeing each of those guys listed. Newbert's out there getting ready. He might be leading this off. We manifested it, Mick.
We did. We said it's either got to be a pitcher's duel, and which we saw that through the first 3 innings, or it's got to end in a derby, and here we are. But the only thing that could make this better is if the home run derby were by the lake and the home runs go into the water, right? they do that for some all-star festivities, but we'll be okay with it here, but with the train tracks in the background.
Oh, yeah. Train tracks, that cottage-like house in left center. Plenty of trees. Got Old Glory flying above the Corbett Field logo in center fields. Beautiful scoreboard in rights. What's there not to love about what we're about to see?
Hey, I need you first.
Just a beautiful night. Sunny and 70 here near sunset, and a way to cap off an Expedition League game. Home run derby time, 5-5 after 9 innings. No extra innings in the Expedition League. As Mitch ran through, we'll do it again to set the scene here one more time. Each team gets 3 batters in the home run derby. Each player gets 5 swings, not 5 pitches, 5 swings to try and hit a home run. And the team with the most home runs after their 3 batters hit wins.
You know what the pressure is on here? Whoever is throwing BP, you are trying to throw them the best pitches possible for them to drive. You're pitching for contact. Now, Coach Kieran did it last time for Souris Valley. I think it was Coach Greer for North Iowa. Now, Red River and Pierre also came down to this. I'll have to look back to see who won that game, but now every team has competed in this extra innings alternative. It's going to be Jared Kirkman pitching the batting practice. Micah Barkenhagen, he's got the hat turned Griffey style.
And he has the most home runs out of anybody on the Red River team. He has 4 dingers this season. 5 swings for Micah Barkenhagen to lead off our home run derby. Not 5 pitches, gets 5 swings. Everybody's going to be selective. It's about 30 feet away from pitcher to batter. And swing 1 doesn't stay in play.
That one's driven in the gap. That's a double on any given day.
Looking for homers. There's swing number 3 from Barkenhagen. And it's short of the center field wall.
I don't know, man. Are you nervous? I'm nervous.
I mean, I'm on the edge of my seat. It's the first experience for me having a home run derby to end a game, no matter what league I've called games in. So that's 4 pitches down for Barkenhagen, 4 swings.
Okay, so the result for Red River versus Pierre once they did this, it came down to Isaac Becker. He had the game-winning home run in the derby. So if it gets to Becker, then he knows what situation to be in. Barkenhagen cranks this one well short.
And the wind's starting to play. They hadn't played all day long. Of course, it jumps out with the home run derby. And it's blowing out to right center field. And you hear the crowd give it up to Chris Monroe.
See the Sabre Dogs, they're pumping up the crowd.
14 dingers will tell you you should be pumped.
Yep. It's also entertainment just to come watch these guys take batting practice one day. It's a pre-game duty to take our golf carts around the perimeter of the field. You see there's a second wall behind the fence. Got to drive in between that, and then we got to turn around and drive out past the stadium. It's a all right.
Is that regulation here?
Well, we got our drone out there.
We're going to find out.
All eyes on the contest.
All eyes on Chris Monroe. No home runs from Micah Barkenhagen to start off the derby.
Coach Kieran pitching to Monroe.
Monroe's first swing, he gets 5. And this one gets out. Took him 1 swing to put the Sabre Dogs ahead.
Oh. Came up empty-handed on the next. This might be the loudest we've heard Orbit Field so far this summer. He'll take one off after the whip.
That's another good swing. Short this time.
Ground rule double. 1 for 3.
I personally think that this is how every baseball game should end. Major league level, minor leagues, Expedition League, it doesn't matter.
Only a matter of time.
This is the move.
He's trying to feed him up and in.
And 2 whiffs from Chris Monroe, but he does his job. He gets 1 home run on the board. He's not too happy with only the 1 home run. So that brings up Isaac Becker. He had a home run in this game back in the 8th inning, and that was the blast, a 3-run jack to tie the game. That's the reason we're standing here right now in a home run derby with the Sabre Dogs 23-game win streak on the line. Only team to beat the Sabre Dogs this year is Red River. Can they do it again via walk-off home run derby?
Again, second straight time for Monroe, 1 home run each. Becker, wow.
Becker puts a charge into one, and we're tied at 1 homer apiece.
Wastes a little time, takes another hack straight away right center fields.
Things heating up.
1-1.
None from Barkenhagen, 1 from Monroe, 1 so far from Becker, and just under this one. It's a pretty anxious crowd, honestly. Just waiting to see if Souris Valley can pull off number 24 in a row.
You see everybody hunched over on the edge of their seats. I don't know if anybody's seen a home run derby decide a game before, but all eyes on what's going on at home plate. We got to get some umpires out there in the outfield to actually judge on any close calls.
Yeah, did the umps take off? I don't see any umpire in the building. So Becker with 1 homer ties things up. Monroe had the 1 for the Sabre Dogs. And now it is in the hands of Ben Newbert, who had a 2-run homer in the 5th inning.
4 home runs on the season for Benny Blass. 22 in the spring.
Yeah, this is one of the guys you want up.
If there's any friendly competition between Souris Valley, it's a tape measuring contest. Newbert, first pitch he sees, he swings.
They put a good swing on it. This one's short of the 410 in center.
Wasting little time. 2 pitches, 2 swings, no dingers.
Each batter gets 5 swings, not just 5 pitches, but 5 swings. So far tied 1 home run to 1. And Newbert's 3 swings through his 5 in this round. There's a charge on swing number 4, and Newbert's giving the Sabre Dogs a 2-1 lead.
There we go, Benny.
1 batter left for Red River, and Newbert line drive. This one has a chance, but it's short. Newbert does just enough to give the Sabre Dogs the lead, and of course, save a big threat for last, Jalen Lee for Red River. And if Lee doesn't hit a home run, you don't have to have another batter for the Sabre Dogs. It'll be a walk-off home run derby, 24th straight win. If Lee hits at least 1 home run, we see the final Sabre Dogs batter.
Worth noting, 12-mile-per-hour wind blowing straight west. That is to right field.
And that plays very well for a left-handed hitter.
He just told Kirkman, slow her down.
He's trying to yank it that direction down the 316 sign and right. Yeah, he wants the softball. He wants the beach ball. Becker had 1 for Red River. Lee's had 2 swings.
That might be his 3rd right there. He's being picky. There's swing 4. Down to this.
Not the strong power contact that we're used to seeing from Lee. Pops one up, and that does it. Home run derby walk-off win for the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs.
Wow.
24 straight wins. Five runs in the 8th for Red River, but it looks like Souris Valley is going to send its guy to the plate anyway to get the swings in. I think by rule definition, right? You have to hit to make it a complete derby. for Jake Barlow?
I guess so. Adds the wins. Now it's just going to be for fun. Barlow takes a quick swing. I think it doesn't matter if he hits him out. He's just swinging. He's just swinging away here. 3 straight pitches. Yep, he's
Oh, goodness.
Oh, he needs a water break.
We know who the biggest character on the team is now, don't we?
It's either Barlow or the guy who gave Barlow the water, Reed Butts.
Yeah. And Barlow takes the water and takes the swing out of the yard.
He needed his MJ special sports drink.
Whatever it was, it worked. So each Sabre Dog batter gets a walk-off splash. Monroe, Newbert, and Barlow each hit a dinger. Becker had 1 for Red River to make it interesting, but the Sabre Dogs, 24 straight wins and a 6-5 win in walk-off fashion. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Mitch is going to race down and talk to a couple of folks from Souris Valley about this dramatic, entertaining Expedition League baseball game. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Bismarck Central, 4800.
4800, go ahead.
Requesting social services on-call team.
Stand by. 4800 social services requesting additional information.
You can advise social services that we have an 18-month-old female who was in a residence with a mother, now being transported to medical care for overdose.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, West Dakota Chevy Dealers, BASF, we create chemistry, Women's Way.
Everybody needs an off-season, but our announcers have a tough time slowing down.
Hey, do you mind if I practice a little bit?
Right, I don't really think that. Johnson holds, shoots, he scores! Incredible! For the second time today, Brent has jammed the printer.
Lowry's 3rd caramel roll of the day. That's a bold move.
And he drains one. Blind squirrel finds a nut. And back to normal.
It's now time for the post-game report, brought to you by Women's Way. Welcome into the Women's Way post-game show. Dramatic home run derby walk-off win for the Sabre Dogs, 24 straight wins. Let's send it down to Mitch, who's with a couple of special folks.
All right, thanks, Mick. Welcome to the post-game show on Beck Sports. Everybody, Mitch Kieran alongside Coach K for the 24th consecutive win. And Mr. Benny Blast himself, Ben Newber, to put the team on his back, not only to stretch the lead from 1 run to, I believe it was 3 in the early goings of this one, but Mike, we're going to start with you. Now, you said it earlier this season, we have seen just about every single different way that a team could win a game, not only in this season, but on this winning streak. Win number 24, second time in 4 games. Finally, the hometown crowd got to see it. It finally ends in the home run derby. So just kind of take us through this one.
Yeah, offensively early, Simon did a really nice job of keeping us off balance, and then those middle innings, we really owned the game. In the late game, we just didn't really play that good a defense, and they put one really good swing on the ball to get themselves back in it. And then in the home run derby, I was pretty confident. We're built for it. I mean, all 3 of our guys can put them out. So going into that home run derby, I was pretty confident. And, you know, I knew after Newbert hit his, I mean, 2 is usually the magic number in this type of setting.
So we kind of had to weather the storm again, 5-0, going into the top of the 8th inning. Had to be pretty confident. Marco was coming off a great inning, but then just can't count out the pilots. These guys, they compete night in and night out against us. And again, the 5 spot, weather the storm, almost with that play at the plate, could have changed the complexity of the game once again. But again, 42 home runs to 6 on the season. So that's pretty fair to say with confidence heading into that home run derby. And we're pretty confident with any one of the guys that we send up of the 3 for the second time this year. It was Chris Monroe, Jake Barlow, and tonight our player of the game, Ben Newbert. So Ben put up some great swings, and especially when we needed it, man. Just talk about what we were focusing on first during the game. You know, what did that first home run kind of mean?
Well, throughout the first couple innings, Simon was throwing pretty much 60-70% breaking balls, and eventually someone was going to have to sit on it. And I'd say in the middle of the game, everyone started adjusting off of a fastball and started to not sit breaking ball, but be ready for a breaking ball. And the guys that were ready for it hit it really hard today, and I was lucky enough to hit mine high enough. So,
well, that thing got halfway up the trees, man. So yeah, you give yourself a little more credit for that one. But again, tied up at 1, a little bit more successful this time around in the home run derby. You know, it was a pretty quick round for you. You were pretty confident. You know, just tell us about your approach up there. You know, what's kind of your opinion or this take on the extra inning alternative?
Obviously, a lot of the power hitters are going to enjoy it, so I obviously enjoy it. And I mean, I told Coach Kieran just throw them inside, and I was going to try to turn as fast as I can and hit the ball. Inside pitches are probably my best pitch to hit, and probably the easiest pitch to hit far for me. So once he did it, I was confident I was at least going to hit one out.
Well, it was pretty fun to watch, Ben. This is your 3rd time this year as we voted you as player of the game, and you've been a ton of fun. So once again, congrats again on a great game. Coach K, any final thoughts before you're back on the road for 2 straight games at Red River?
I'm just super proud of the guys. I mean, to go on this type of winning streak is really rare, and especially in a summer setting. But yes, go Dogs.
All right, you love to see it. Final score, I don't really know what to call it, but it comes down in the home run derby. Sabre Dogs, most importantly, win 24 in a row. Mick, back to you.
Thanks, Mitch, and just an entertaining coach, and Ben Newbert excited. They were ready for the power-hitting ability of their guys in the home run derby. Ben Newbert is our Women's Way player of the game. Well, for Mitch Kieran down in the field, up here in the booth, and for the rest of our Beck Sports crew, Ryan Bradley, Noah Reed, Scott Lurch, Jesse Schwab, I'm Mick Tidrow signing off. Expedition League baseball at its finest ends in a home run derby walk-off win for the Sabre Dogs, victorious for the 24th straight time. Check out BeckSports.com when we're back for Souris Valley Baseball. That does it for us tonight. Good night, everybody.
Bismarck Central, 4800.
4800, go ahead.
Requesting social services on-call team.
Stand by. 4800 social services requesting additional information.
You can advise social services that we have an 18-month-old female who was in a residence with a mother, now being transported to medical care for overdose.
Introducing Accord Comfort Sleep Systems, a better way to sleep. We offer you 5 different models to give you the perfect choice of support and body comfort. Every model begins with our exclusive Accord Comfort Reflex Layer. This ensures proper spinal alignment and a deep down body relief. Our 8-inch Whisper Breeze provides a medium firm feel, and our 10-inch Gentle Night model has a quilted top, giving you a medium plush comfort. Both use Outlast fabric on the top of your mattress, ensuring that your body temperature is not too hot and not too cold. Our Copper Rest Sleep Series is our premier mattress, offering your choice of firm, plush, and luxury plush. Every model uses copper-infused gel latex and provides all the health benefits of copper. Accord Comfort mattresses are handcrafted in the USA and come with a 60-night sleep guarantee. You're going to love sleeping with us. Order today exclusive